Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Give me a Yahoo if I can be heard. Give me a Yahoo if I can be heard. All praises to the Creator. Yahweh, all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High. Forever live the teachings of HaMashiach in the hearts and minds of all you brothers and sisters. Bless up. Bless up. Yeah, give me a Yahoo if I can be heard. Hit the like, share, subscribe, all that. Get the algorithms popping. All right, shout out to all the haters, y'all, checkers, and naysayers. Much love to y'all as well. Abundant blessings, wisdom, healing, love, abundance, protection, peace, righteousness, and victory to all you brothers and sisters. Bless up, bless up. All right, I can be heard. All right. I see y'all in the building. I see y'all. All right, well, let's work real quick. Let me share this. Go ahead, come on out with the appetizer real quick. Share this and let's eat. Let's eat. I see y'all. Okay. We working. We here to work. That's it. Hold on 1 second. All right, so let's work. We ain't here to play. We here to work. So let's work.
I've spoken to many of the top names in plant-based medicine, but I've never shared an interview quite like this one.
She got her life back. You can't put that into words.
This video sees Dr. Milton Mills of What the Health fame
as a form of institutionalized racism
open up about life, death, and how his daily struggles influence him as a doctor.
Sometimes people ask, well, why are you carrying around extra weight?
I've met him briefly before, and it was very clear that he doesn't hold back when it comes to responding to critics.
What I would say to Joe Rogan is, Joe Rogan, you need more fiber in your diet because you're full of it.
I had so many questions I wanted to ask him, starting with why he thinks we are herbivores by design.
Look at the way human beings are actually constructed anatomically, and if you look at our physiology, we are truly strict herbivores. And that's why when we depart from a strictly plant-based diet, we become ill. That's why diets that contain large amounts of animal food are associated with a number of chronic diseases like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, autoimmune diseases, high blood pressure, stroke. The more we eliminate animal foods from our diet, the healthier we are. And again, it has to do with the fact that we are really designed to eat a strictly plant-based diet.
Yeah. And I guess for the people that want to know how specifically we're designed anatomically to eat plants, you just have to look at our physiology, like the jaw structure, the stomach acidity, the length of our intestine, stuff like that. What do you say, though, to the people that say that might be true, but the only reason we're here today is because we ate meat back in the day and we survived because of meat? What do you say to that?
There are a number of people who have advanced these theories. And number one, none of the people putting forth those theories are physicians. And the reason I make that point is because if they understood what meat does to our health and to our physiology, they would never make that argument. First of all, there is no way that Stone Age humans could possibly hunt efficiently enough to gather enough animal food to make that their primary means of gaining nutrition, number one. Number two, people have come up with theories saying, oh, well, okay, yeah, it's clear that humans couldn't hunt well enough to collect enough meat to live off of, so human beings scavenge. Well, that's a ridiculous statement, because it's clear that we do not have the physiology of a scavenger. I mean, at least in America, every Thanksgiving, people get sick from eating poorly cooked turkey. And that's a turkey cooked in a, $1,000 stainless steel range that has temperature control. There's no way people eating rotting flesh, burned in some fire could possibly hope to sterilize that flesh well enough to prevent themselves from becoming ill. So we clearly are not scavengers. Furthermore, most large savanna predators don't leave enough tissue on their kills to scavenge. And if there is food left, they guard those kills jealously and don't allow other animals, including humans, to actually come and try to scavenge from them. And then lastly, there really is no advantage in human beings eating large amounts of protein. There is no point to consuming huge amounts of protein because it's not healthy for us. Number one, the human brain is mostly fatty tissue. It burns pure glucose, which comes from carbohydrate. Protein is not the preferred energy source for our brain. So eating huge amounts of protein is not helpful for us because our bodies can't store protein. And so any protein that we take in over and above what we use on a daily basis, which is approximately, say, 50 to 60 grams of protein on a given day, is converted into carbohydrate anyway. And that process of converting that protein into carbohydrate is very energetically costly. It dehydrates us, and therefore it doesn't pay for us to try to eat huge amounts of protein because it saps too much energy, uses up too much water, and doesn't get us any physiologic benefit. So again, it doesn't make sense that humans would have wasted a lot of energy looking for protein that doesn't help us. And there's a researcher out of UC Berkeley by the name of Catherine Milton who has this absurd theory that meat caused humans to develop large brains. Number one, it's an illogical argument. It makes no sense whatsoever for the reasons that I just outlined. There's nothing about meat that in any way stimulates brain development. And if, in fact, eating meat or hunting stimulated brain development, then the carnivores would have the biggest brains of all animals, and they don't. And which is why if you have a dog, he still drinks from the toilet. You know, they're not very bright. So yeah, there's nothing about meat that in any way is important for brain development or brain function. In fact, in terms of the intelligence, it requires much more intelligence to learn how to exploit plant-based resources in an environment. Because number one, you have to be able to recognize, wait a minute, these plants over here are flowering. That means that in approximately 90 days, these plants are going to be fruiting. So I have to, one, remember where these plants are in the environment. I have to be able to tell time so I can come back and then collect these fruits when they're available, and then take these fruits and cache them so that I will have a source of food that's going to last me for a period of time. And not only that, once you recognize that dynamic that a flower ultimately leads to fruit, you can then apply that to not just say an apple tree or a peach tree. You can recognize the flower on a squash plant. Say, oh goodness, I can come back and look for something to eat in a month or two from this plant. And that will then allow you to exploit a much wider range of food throughout your environment than just being held to just this tree or this food source or that food source. And again, that requires a much greater intellectual ability to make those kinds of connections and to be able to exploit those sort of food resources throughout your environment than just trying to chase something and kill it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because from what you just said, it's made me realize, like, the reason plants are so colorful, for example, fruit and veg, is so bright to the human eye, is because humans are natural herbivores. We're designed to eat these foods. I'm just wondering whether there's any other evidence like this that clearly shows we're natural herbivores.
If you think about plants, the edible plant parts are hand-sized objects that are smooth-edged, brightly colored, and they're small enough to be held in the hand, and of course they smell and taste like plants. So what do we do to animal tissue to make it acceptable to us? We take it, we skin it, we cut it into these smooth-edged, hand-sized objects. We then take the blood out of it, we cook it so that instead of being wet and slimy, it's now firm like plant tissues. But most importantly, we cover it with all of these plant products to try and make it taste like plants, which is what our brain really wants. So we really don't want the animal tissue, because if we did, we eat it the way the carnivores do: wet, slimy, bloody, and rotting. No, we take it and try to make it look and taste and smell like plants in order to make it acceptable. Furthermore, the fact that we actually cover ourselves with the scents of plants to make ourselves more attractive tells us that plants have always been important throughout our existence as a species. And the reason we like to smell like plants is because that is a subtle signal to our brain that we have been ingesting the compounds that actually make us healthier, make us live longer, and make us more resistant to disease.
Yeah, that I guess it makes a lot of sense, and I'm sure like most people would agree. Some people though, the naysayers and the critics would say, what about B12 though? How do you respond to that?
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're going to ignore all the heart disease, all the cancer, all the diabetes, and all of that. We're just going to talk about B12. Well, okay, let's talk about B12. All B12 is made by bacteria. That no animal makes B12, no plant makes B12. And when human beings were living in more natural settings, we got B12 all the time from the dirt, from water sources, from, many things in our environment. But where do we live now? We live in these concrete and steel jungles that we've invented for ourselves. So we've eliminated the natural sources of B12.
Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. All praises to the Most High. Yahweh, 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 Yahuwah. What else everybody say? Y'all know what I'm saying. The Most High, the Creator. You understand? The all in all, the always was, is, and ever shall be. The mighty Yahweh. You dig? Forever live the teachings of the anointed Mashiach. In the hearts and minds of all you brothers and sisters from Mashiach came with the light, came with the ways of the Creator, established it, taught it, was even murdered because he stood on the higher law, the higher light, you dig? So all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High. I want to answer, the brother dropped a very good question right here. All right, y'all see it on the screen, brother Yawanathan. Salute, shalom. All right, shalom family. I'm sure you heard this question before, but I missed the answer. So here it is. If we are not supposed to chew on animal sandwiches, my bad. If we are not supposed to eat flesh, how do we deal with the law of keeping Passover? Very excellent question, Aki. Very excellent question. All right, so first, the law of Passover is instituted in Exodus, the 12th chapter. All right, you read about it in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter as well. You dig? And it's very specific. You understand? Different sacrifices for each day. Pesach, 7 8 days. We'll pass over, and then that leading to unleavened bread. That's a whole 7 days. You understand? So what you realize, if you be real with yourself and read the Passover law, you understand? Starting in Exodus 12, you read on down, 1 through 9 and on down, you dig? You'll see that we already, like, nobody's keeping that law. That law is not being kept and observed. You understand? For instance, it goes into how the lamb or the goat got to be taken from amongst the fold or the sheep, right? On the 10th day inspected. Can't be any blemishes on it. It has to be a year old. You understand? And then on the 14th day at evening, it is to be slain, right? All right, and trip off this. There ain't no dissecting that one. Ain't no pulling no guts out. All the guts stay in it, intact. All the fat, all the organs. And you supposed to roast that sucker whole. No cut on it. All right? Understand? Roast it whole and eat it whole. Everything. You understand? Down to the intestines, the pertinence, the kidneys, the organs. And whatever's left over, you're supposed to burn that. What you find out, ain't nobody keeping that law. I understand. Nobody even keeps Passover the same way. But if you go back to the original Pesach or Passover law, nobody. Let's go look at that. I made a claim. Let Maccabee stand on it. Let me stand on it real quick. Shalom to all my Nazarene sing faithists, brothers and sisters, create a gang in the building, sect of the Nazarenes in the building, Essene literature in the building. Y'all already know. Create a gang is the family, and that's the movement. All right, you bring them, we raise them. Hey, but look at this right here, man. Let's go to the first one. Let's go to Exodus. Let's go see. I made a claim. I'm gonna make the claim and say this: that nobody is keeping the Passover law. Anybody claiming they keeping Passover as the law says is lying. And we're gonna go show that, and then from there we're gonna go show the opposition to it, dealing in the Bible, in the prophets. You understand? Then we're gonna go show other, literature coming from our perspective. The Nazarene is seen, and understand perspective. Let me go to Exodus 12 first. Let's show that. Shout out to everybody in the building. I see y'all in the building. Bless up. But we ain't here to play. You understand? So let's work. Let's work, bro. Asked a very, very excellent question. All right. So he asked about if we not supposed to eat flesh, then how do we deal with the Passover law? My response right out the back is this: everybody's in violation of that. All right. Nobody's keeping the Passover law. And then we're gonna go read, you understand, from our perspective about Passover. All right, we got a few things we can go show historically too. All right, but we're gonna stick with the scripture first. So first we're gonna go to Exodus 12 and 1. All right, class in session. And really this class is going down because I had a conversation with a childhood friend of mine, a partner of mine, you understand, who recently allowed his emotions to do some type of, the way he acted towards your brother was very unlike him. You understand? I'm gonna call it for what it is. It was some hoe shit. It was weak. You understand? He let his emotions on what I teach allow him to do something personal. You did. Instead of me getting, I ain't even gonna go there. You understand? But this, all right, well, look, since you running your mouth, and then I talked to him, and his response, the same response I give from every brother I bump into. I asking them, what is the meats of the flesh or the food offered to idols according to the Torah? All right. If you don't know, you just don't know. Just say that. Instead of that, he tried to wing his ass and tap dance and play around. Brother, say you don't know. Vince said, I don't even know. Now, how do you know what I'm saying wrong? How is you in so much opposition to where you got weak on your bro? You got weak. And you did something that I never did to you. But you violated. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna get physical with you. You gotta live with that for the rest of your life, though. You apologize, that's what's up. You understand? But you already know. You already know. And I ain't even gonna allow your moment of weakness, you understand, to pull me down. I ain't even gonna allow it. But you gotta live with that. I walk bold in the day and I sleep well at night, knowing I stand on what I stand on. And I can prove what I'm talking about. You understand? So this class was prompted off that because there's still a whole bunch of, I didn't even know these cats were still around here running their mouth. But running their mouth like we can't prove what we talking about, and just crazy. And the rhetoric and the answers to it is I'm very childish. You understand? Now, as a man, you better than that. All right? As a man, you better than that. So I'm about to bring the class out and show you. All right, what it is. Passover lamb. The Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginnings of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. This is the springtime of Bib. Most Hebrews understand this to be the new year. That's why in the springtime you hear brews be saying Happy New Year. All right, keep going. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. Right there, stop. All right. These men out here going to grab these lambs. They're not keeping this instruction right here. On the 10th day, you got to go grab that lamb. right? And each lamb is supposed to represent one house. All right. Look at this, verse 4. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. You understand? Meaning if you can't afford, your house too small, you can't afford a lamb, then you join on with your neighbors. But everybody supposed to be chewing on the lamb that was selected on day 10 of the first month of Abib. If your lamb ain't being chosen, then strike one. Strike one. And don't be trying to leave it or try to blame it on the leaders of the assemblies or none of that. This right here is showing that each man is responsible for his own house. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Yeah. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. Verse 5, your lamb, the lamb that was selected on day 10 of the month of Abib, the first month. All right. Your lamb shall be without blemish. A male of the first year, you shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. So, look, the lamb got to be a year old. You don't know how old that lamb is you chewing on from the meat market. And it got to be without blemish. It got to be flawless. No type of blemish, no type of defect. You don't know what you eat. You don't know if it's been selected on the 10th day. You don't know if it's a year old. You don't even know if it has blemishes. Nobody is keeping the Passover law. Nobody is keeping. You see, this is easy. I was telling the bro earlier, I'm like, bro, look, we proving this so much. I'm actually having fun doing this. Having fun. That's how easy this is to prove. Bro asked about the Passover law. I ain't supposed to eat flesh. How you explain the Passover law? Look at this. Nobody's doing the Passover law. Look at this. And you shall keep it, the lamb without blemish, the male that's 1 year old, right? You're supposed to keep that lamb up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. So it got to be killed by the 14th day at evening. The evening or the transitional period, you understand, between the daytime and the nighttime is the evening. You know what I mean? Going on the back end, going in the night. And that's supposed to have been killed by the evening of the 14th. Huh? Now, remind you, you're dealing with millions of Israelites. Millions. You understand? Matter of fact, it tell you there was 600,000 foot soldiers that left Egypt. And if each one of those men got a house, you're dealing with 600,000 lambs that had to been selected on the 10th day, unblemished, 1 year old, and a male. 600,000. Say, okay, well, we ain't gonna be that extreme. Even if we was conservative and said, all right, well, one lamb cover 4 houses, y'all, that's still 150,000 lambs that had to be slaughtered by the 14th day at evening. Look at this. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the 2 side posts and on the upper door posts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. That's not happening either. So we got strike 1. It was not selected on the 10th day. Strike 2. It was not killed on the 14th day. Strike 3. Look at this. You ain't even putting the blood of the unblemished lamb, the perfect lamb that's a year old, over the doorpost of your assemblies when you having Passover. You know what you're doing? Nick Rose is taping up confetti. Confetti. Yeah. Or a spray paint, some red spray paint or some paint. It ain't no blood. So you're not keeping the Passover law. That's the whole point. You're not even keeping it. You dig? So when people ask that, I just be like, come on, are we gonna go into the law, the Torah, and act as if we actually are keeping the Passover law? We not. You know what I mean? Look at this. Look at this. Verse 8, and they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Really, technically, that's the Passover. That's your Passover meal right there. You got people that got 7-layer salads and chicken wings and turkey legs and deviled eggs and Man, look, the law say that if you going by the law of the flesh of the past, it tell you lamb, roasted, unleavened bread, and bitter herbs. That's your Passover. That's your Passover. Now watch this. Watch this. Eating out of it raw. So you can't even get down like a real carnivore, because real carnivores eat that sucker raw. Slimy and bloody. Nor siding at all with water, but roast with fire his head, with his legs, and with the pertinence thereof. Do y'all hear this? He telling you to roast it, and you eat. Look, you don't eat it raw side with water, but roast it. Huh? Look, you ain't even dissect. Look, you're not even taking the organs out and taking the fat off the organs and you know all that and sprinkling the blood with this. You roasting this whole sucker. You roasting this whole lamb whole. And you ain't even removing no type of organs. You ain't removing no type of fat, nothing. You ain't cleaning this deal at all. This is how you supposed to eat that. Most Passovers, I've seen some try to have whole lambs, but most Passovers don't have no whole lambs, man. And if they do, they definitely ain't got the organs up in that deal. You understand? Again, nobody's keeping this. We probably on strike. I'm being conservative. We really probably like on strike 10. You know what I mean? So if we dealing with pertinence, y'all know we dealing with intestines, right? Yeah. So lamb chitlins, Passover. Lamb legs, lamb head, brains, the fat off, the meat off the head, and the brains in the skull. I don't think that's. What do you think that's far reaching? You eating the whole lamb. Look at this. And you shall let ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. All right. And thus shall you eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, your staff in your hand, and you shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. So I wanted to go there first to show. The fam that because the brother Yawanathan asked a question. I wanted to show the fam that look, out the gate, nobody is observing it. Nobody's keeping that law. Nobody is. You understand? Everybody that does Passover does it based off their own understanding. Or even if, the Messianic brothers, you know how we be like, hey, look, Messiah is the lamb. But if you saying that, then what you going to chew on a dead lamb for? If you recognize that what the Messiah did, you understand, is a sacrifice. You understand? Really, if you really get into the politics of it, the geopolitics of it, it was a murder. It was a political assassination. And his death is supposed to spark a revolution in your mind. You see what I'm saying? But even if you're running with the whole sacrifice angle, then what are you doing chewing on any lamb? If he's the lamb, then what are you doing chewing on lamb? You know what I mean? So think about that. So if we're gonna say I Passover according to the law, then it's like, all right, well, we just read the initial law of Pesach or Pesach. And what you find out is nobody's keeping that at all. You understand? Nobody is. So even if you say, all right, Messiah represents the lamb, that's the lamb, right? All right, yes, salute. All right, that's what's up, right? But if that's the case, you ain't chewing on him. You ain't no cannibal. You ain't chewing on him. You ain't chewing on no Messiah thighs and shoulder blades. You ain't doing none of that. You understand? You ain't eating no Messiah chitlins. You ain't doing none of that. So either way, what you're going to realize is this. Nah, we ain't even keeping that. All right. So the bro asked about, okay, the righteous acts. Excellent point. All right. So look, let me go show you something real quick. All right. What we're going to do next is go to the first Passover kept before Israel invaded Jericho. All right. Let's go there next. All right. I'm glad the brother asked that question. Because on the real, all I'll be trying to do is have a conversation with brothers. But a lot of cats, man, be tiptoeing. All right. A lot of them be tiptoeing. They didn't got comfortable. They ain't out here trying to iron, sharpen iron, or even challenge. You understand? They got the fear of their nuts roasting for eternity hanging over their head. You dig? Like, if you rooted in truth, then you should be fearless and searching whatever. Because whatever don't rub me right, I ain't dealing with it anyway. Yeah, it's like 10 strikes for real. But let me go show you this, and then we're going to pull up the Septuagint too, which is older than the Masoretic text that we have today. The Masoretic text is what your Old Testament in English comes from. Masoret, the Masoretes. All right, but that's like 9th, 10th century CE, Common Era. All right. The Septuagint is, if not the oldest, one of the oldest Old Testaments in existence today, and it's in Greek. All right, translated under Ptolemy Philadelphus. Y'all know they're doing the whole Greek invasion and occupation of Israel, put up in the libraries of Alexandria, Egypt. You understand? But the Septuagint was translated by 70 Hebrew elders and scribes. It was the Hebrew history translated into so-called Greek. You understand? But the Septuagint, that Old Testament is older than the Old Testament you have in your KJV. So we're going to read the KJV, Joshua 5, 10 through 12. All right. And then we're going to read it out the Septuagint. I believe that's fair enough, though. You know what I mean? That should be fair enough. Like, if we're dealing with truth, we shouldn't be afraid to go search an older Bible. You understand? To see if everything is consistent in this message. You see that? So nobody is saying you can't observe or bring into remembrance Passover. You understand? But can Passover be observed and kept without the slaughtering of lambs, innocent lambs? Can it be observed and kept? It should be the question. All right, so first we're going to read this, Joshua 5, right? 10 through 12, KJV. The children of Israel encamped in Gilgal and kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month at evening in the plains of Jericho. And they did eat of the old corn of the land on the morrow after the Passover, unleavened cakes and parched corn in the self-same day. And the manna ceased on the morrow after they had eaten of the old corn of the land. Neither had the children of Israel manna anymore, but they did eat of the fruit of the land of Canaan that year. So right there, we don't even see anything about flesh being chewed on. You understand? We don't even see that. But to be fair, if a brother really know what he's doing, he can say, well, bro, Passover and then unleavened bread. All right. So even though I would say, according to Joshua 5, 10 through 12 KJV, it appears no flesh was eaten on Passover right before Jericho was invaded. But a brother that studies will be like, well, bro, no, you got to separate the Passover from unleavened bread. So even though it doesn't say lambs were eaten, we would have to assume lambs was eaten if they kept the Passover. That would be the argument from the opposition. You understand? But you got to know when somebody playing chess with you, though. You got to know, because understand this. I've been doing this a long time. All praise to the Most High. So I ain't never going nowhere to where I ain't anticipated your next move or your response. Anybody that study will separate Passover from unleavened bread, and their response will be to what I just pulled. They would say this. Even though it doesn't say lamb was eaten right there for the Passover, we would have to assume it was, because Passover is in verse 10 and unleavened bread is in verse 11. You see what I'm saying? Separating the two. In all fairness, okay, I see you, but notice what I just said. I would go here first to show Passover can be observed without chewing on lamb thighs and lamb shoulders and lamb head and lamb stomachs. All right. All right. All right. Now let's go into, let me stop that. All right. And let's go into the Septuagint and see what the Septuagint says concerning that Passover right there. I got you. I think I already got it down here. Matter of fact, I usually keep a few of these things locked and loaded. Here it is right here, y'all. Here it is right here. All right, so let me share the screen with y'all real quick so y'all can see. Nobody playing no games. Now let's go search an older version of the Bible and see if that hold up. Bro, say I work with a brother. What you say? I work with a brother from IUIC, and all he says is Leviticus 11. We'll deal with that too. That ain't no problem. All right. I just be trying to have a conversation with cats, and everybody claim we going off. You understand? What we saying is so satanic and evil. I just be trying to have a convo. What's up? Tap in. Let's chop it on up. All right. So, brother again asked about the Passover law. We're not supposed to eat flesh. Then how do we explain the Passover law? My response first, I went to the first Passover law and showed it ain't being observed. All right. but there is something called rehearsing the righteous acts, like keeping in memory and remembrance. You understand certain rites and ceremonies because they keep you connected with your maker. Understandable. No doubt, but can it be observed without the slaughtering of animals and the chewing on flesh is the question. So I'll go to Joshua 5, 10 through 12. Joshua 5, 10 through 12, it appears in the KJV that is saying that there was no type of flesh eaten at that Passover right there, right before they invaded Jericho. But there's still something on the table. What's on the table? Well, if I separate Passover from unleavened bread in Joshua 5, 10 through 12, then even though it doesn't say lamb was eaten, we will have to assume lamb was eaten because you separate the slaughtering of the lamb, Passover, and then the unleavened bread for the next, Okay, I hear you on that, but let's go to an older Bible and see if that holds up. All right, let's see if it holds up. Got you. Let me pull this up. Let's get into it. All right. Nothing wrong with looking at this thing through a historical lens. Remember that. All right. You want to be out here looking silly. All right, so let's work. All right, let's work. All right, my bad. Let me pull this over on the side right here. All right, so y'all know what this is. All right, one of my actual Septuagint's. All right, I ain't I actually went and got the book and underlined it myself. All right, that's the binder right there. If y'all want to look that up, feel free. Look it on up. That one thing about us, we share everything we got. You know what I mean? We ain't hiding nothing. Take it and look at it. All right. Now, y'all see that, right? All right. All right. This up here. So y'all can see. If you know your so-called Roman numerals, it's Joshua the 5th chapter, verses 2 through Joshua the 6th chapter, verse 6. We just read Joshua 5, 10 through 12. Y'all see that? All right. Just to show y'all this ain't no game. It's Greek on the left side and English on the left. This is the oldest. This is the oldest Old Testament that you have in this earth. All right. We're going to go down to verse 10. Look at this. I ain't making none of this up. Now let's read it. All right. This version is older than the KJV that you have in the Bible. Anybody with a half a brain understands this, that has done the research. All right. All right. Look at this. And the children of Israel kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month at evening to the westward of Jericho on the opposite side of the Jordan in the plain. And they ate of the grain of the earth, unleavened and new corn. And this day the manna failed after they had eaten of the corn of the land, and the children of Israel no longer had manna. And they took the fruits, Yeah, not no booty meat, not no lamb shoulders. And they took the fruits of the land of the Phoenicians in that year. So right here in the oldest existing Old Testament that you have, the Septuagint, we talking 200 BC. Between 200 and 300 BC, before the Common Era, BCE. Now this one, which is older than the one you have in your house right now, says that this Passover was observed without the slaughtering of one lamb. If y'all understand what I'm saying, give me a 9 up in the chat. Y'all know I ain't trying to lose nobody. Bless up. All right, bless up. So y'all write that down. You know, if somebody asks you, well, how can Passover be observed? You understand? Without the chewing on the animal flesh, or without observing the law correctly. First, take them to the law and show them nobody's observing it. And 2, we got right before Jericho was invaded, the Passover was kept without flesh. Take them to the KJV, then go get historical on. Take them on back. Septuagint is before the Common Era. This was around. Now trip off this. What a lot of people don't know is this, y'all. This is what a lot of people don't know, and they'll duck this. The New Testament quotes from the Septuagint. The New Testament does not quote from the Masoretic text. It shouldn't, because the Masoretic text actually came after. The Masoretic text actually came after the New Testament was even agreed upon. You see what I'm saying? The New Testament is actually quoting the Septuagint. You see that? So when we go into the Septuagint, the oldest one that you got, it tell you how they got down. And the children of Israel kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month at evening to the westward of Jericho on the opposite side of the Jordan in the plain. And this is what they ate. My sister Shebrew Faith is 144. This is what they ate for the Passover. And they ate of the grain of the earth, unleavened. So they ate the unleavened bread and new corn, a new grain. In this day, the manna failed after they had eaten of the corn of the land, and the children of Israel no longer had manna, and they took the fruits of the land of the Phoenicians in that year. They ate unleavened bread, grain, fruits. Bag drop. Bag drop. There it is. And what you learn here, historically, the Canaanites are actually the Phoenicians, historically. All right, the Hebrew language everybody love to brag about, that's actually Phoenician Hebrew. That was already spoken by the time Abraham even came into what you call Canaan. The Phoenicians was advanced too. They was shipbuilders and they was heavy in all type of different things. But historically speaking, the Canaanites are Phoenicians. You dig? And that right there shows you the historicity of the Septuagint. Why is the Septuagint referring to Canaanites as Phoenicians? Most Israelites don't even know that. Most Israelites don't even know the Canaanites. Curse be who you talking about, the Phoenicians? Historically, those are the Phoenicians. You dig? And if you think I'm lying, just look up Phoenician Hebrew. That's that Paleo Hebrew the Brews love to brag about. They get that. That's Phoenician. That language was already spoken by the time Abraham even came into what you call the land of Canaan. It was already being spoken by them. Look, y'all, it's already in stone. It's Phoenician Hebrew. You dig? But right here shows that Passover can be observed and kept without chewing on lamb backs, lamb shoulders, lamb ribs, lamb legs. And look, I understand. I used to be the main one turn that lamb up. Trust me. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna front with you. I ain't better than you because I don't chew on animal sandwiches anymore. You understand? But I feel a whole lot better. I'll tell you that. You dig? Yeah, that's after Shebrew. That's after they was eating manna in the wilderness. This is after the wilderness wandering, according to the biblical narrative. So the manna was they were eating the whole time they were in the wilderness. And by the time they was to invade Jericho, they would eat of the fruits or the crops of the land that grow. You see what I'm saying? That's what they eat of that. No need for him to rain down manna anymore. When now you can put your own, you can go ahead and put the work. You go ahead and get to work. You know what I mean? Plowshares, your hoes, you're tilling the land. You can work and bring forth your food now. Man, don't work, you don't eat. Well, that was talking about you not being lazy, planting seed and harvesting. You see what I'm saying? But look, right here, what are we showing? Passover can be kept. You know what I mean? Passover can be kept without chewing on lamb. All right? We know this. All right, drop there. Let's keep it going. All right, let's get off there for a second. All right. And let's get down some more. Bless up. I see y'all in the building. All right. I see y'all in the building. All right, let's drop that. Let's go deal with something else. Let's go deal with something else. Go to Jeremiah 7. Let's go deal with the prophet. Let's deal with the prophet Jeremiah. We already showed Joshua, Moses' successor. We already showed him. We showed Passover being observed in Joshua 5:10-12, especially when you pull out the Septuagint. You pull that out, it's over. It's over for anybody at that point, because that's older than the Old Testament they read. Now, look, the Septuagint is older than the Torah portions that all these men are doing. That's Masoretic text they use. That's the Masoretic. The Masoretes were 9th, 10th century of the Common Era. You understand? That's Common Era. Septuagint go back to 200, 300, you know what I mean? 2nd, 3rd century BCE, before the Common Era. So the oldest Old Testament is saying something different than the one you have now. When we bring out these inconsistencies, certain people get mad about that. You understand? I'd be angry, mad, talking crazy, as if we ain't did the research or the studying. As if somebody just, the groovy guru just appeared out of nowhere and zapped us and was like, hey, this is what you teach, say this, do this, and we just came around, you know, hey, I was visited last night. That ain't what it is. We studied it. I studied this before I bought it outside. Studied it, hard body. You understand? I wasn't even, man, look, I was so into it that I'm talking about hours going by. I'm reading for hours at a time, daily. I devoured all the Nazarene and Saint literature. I'm talking about within months. Devoured everything. Devoured it and understood it. Started putting these lessons together and everything. Then I came outside. So by the time that I started doing videos over what I'm talking about, I had already been studied it. I already studied it, ran it backwards and forward. You understand? Every scenario possible. Like, dang, that's what it is. That's solid. All right. All right, so let's go to Jeremiah. Watch this. I go to Jeremiah next. All right. What you say? She said, "What you call it?" Bro, a lot of people are comfortable with it. I mean, that's understandable. It's understandable, but it's called the Septuagint. Let me type it in for y'all. Septuagint. All right. Just so happened, the oldest translation of the Old Testament that's in the earth that's available to the public is in Greek. The oldest New Testament in the earth that's available to the public, that's in Greek. You know what I mean? The oldest New Testament, you know what I mean, that was agreed upon by the so-called authorities. Now, our Nazarene and Saint literature is older than all that, but you understand? So look at this Jeremiah. Now, you all good, bro. Look at this Jeremiah 7:21. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, put your burnt offerings unto your sacrifices and eat flesh. Now, if you know what you're looking at, you know that's he's being sarcastic. Why would I say that? Because nobody ate a burnt offering. The burnt offering was wholly consumed. Wholly consumed. So the fact that he's telling you eat the flesh of the burnt offering means he ain't accepting the burnt offering because nobody ate it. A burnt offering is wholly consumed on the altar of fire, the altar of burnt offering. It's roasted. It's burnt up. You can't eat it. All right, so thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, put your burnt offerings into your sacrifices and eat flesh. All right. For I spake, and then look, I'm gonna go show y'all that. I'm gonna go show you this too in the Peshitta. And older, look, it ain't as old as the Septuagint, but it's an Aramaic version of this Jeremiah 7:21 and 22. Right? And you're gonna see in the KJV, they cut half the verse off. That verse supposed to still be reading that verse. And we're gonna go show that too. You know, we went and got historical with what we was looking at. And when you get historical, when you start looking at this through a historical lens, you're gonna be like, dang, that's crazy. You start looking at like older versions of what it is, you're gonna be like, dang. You understand? So the whole thing, like for him to add to or take away from, hey, look, you ain't no scribe. They been adding to the Bible and taking away from it. They been doing it. You understand? I got you, Jonathan. We're gonna go answer the Messiah keeping the Passover next. And look, I'm gonna show you when he was living in the flesh, even in the Gospels that we have now. There's not one place where he was eating the flesh. I'm not saying lambs weren't killed. You understand? We simply saying Passover can be observed without the slaying of lambs. Well, I'm not saying Israel never slayed lambs for Passover. What we're saying is Messiah, his crew, them bros, they wasn't chewing on the flesh at all. Not even on Passover. And even in the Gospels, it tell you what was there. Bread, sop, I think some wine. You understand? Some bread. You understand? Bitter herb. That's it. You understand? Because he's the lamb. Okay, well, if he's the lamb and we rolling with that, then why ain't no lamb at the Passover? See? Look at this. Verse 22. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them. Now, what is the Creator saying through the prophet Jeremiah? For I spake not unto your fathers. The God of Israel is saying this, y'all. All right. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices. Stop right there. It's the Passover sacrifice. And the night of the day that he brought us out of Egypt, y'all, that's known as Passover. That's the first scripture I went to, Exodus 12. But the God of Israel is saying through the prophet Jeremiah, who is a Levitical prophet. That means his father's in there slaying lambs and all that. He's saying through Jeremiah that I never commanded that. In the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices, I didn't speak that. I didn't command that. But this is what he commanded. He wasn't talking about no sacrifice. This is what he commanded. But this thing commanded I them, saying, obey my voice, and I will be your mighty one, and you shall be my people, and walk you in all the ways that I have commanded you, that it may be well unto you. You understand? Look at that. He telling you, listen to me, incline your heart to me. Do what I commanded you, because the burnt offerings and sacrifices he didn't command. He just told you that I didn't command that. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings and sacrifices. But this thing commanded I them, saying, obey my voice, and I will be your mighty one, and ye shall be my people, and walk you in all the ways that I have commanded you, which means the burnt offerings and the sacrifices was never commanded by the Creator, that it may be well unto you. But look at this. But they hearkened not, nor inclined to ear, but walked in the counsels and in the imagination of their evil heart, and went backward and not forward, meaning they were slaying the lambs. But Jeremiah, a prophet, but his father is a Levitical priest. The God of Israel speaking through Jeremiah saying, hey, look, I never commanded that. I never did. You see that? I never did. See, so now, regardless if we accept that or not, because that brings more questions, right? Regardless if we accept it or not, right? Either we're going to try to make that fit with Exodus 12, or we're going to say, hold on, Jeremiah is saying something different than what we just read in Exodus. You feel me? You just got to be real with yourself, man. Like, and that's where I'm at with it, like dealing with brothers and sisters. If you ain't willing to be real with yourself, then I'm probably not the brother you want to deal with. You know what I mean? I'm probably not the brother you want to talk to, because I believe in keeping it all the way solid. You understand? Like, if you can't look at that and say, well, hold on, that right there says something different. That's saying that he never commanded it. He ain't speaking and he ain't commanded in the day that he brought us out of the land of Egypt. So then the brother be like, well, okay, with the Passover and the sacrifice, that's a lack of study. All dead flesh is a sacrifice. What you mean? It's a lack of study. Let's show. Let's show that real quick. Let's show that the Passover is a sacrifice according to your Bible. According to the Bible, it is. Look at this. Go back to Exodus. Exodus. He's saying right in there, I didn't command that. But it's in there. Naturally, you're going to have questions, though. Dang, why is it in there? See, until you can be real with yourself and admit, well, look, some things are contradictory. They don't line up. You understand? The more you look at it, you'll be like, yeah, certain things just don't line up. All right. Exodus 12, 26, and 27. For those that claim that, because a brother told me that, well, that ain't no Passover, that ain't no sacrifice. You know what I mean? And it ain't no sacrifice for sin. Then look at this right here. Exodus 12, 26, and 27. And it shall come to pass when your children shall say unto you, what mean ye by this service? That ye shall say, it is the sacrifice of Yahweh's Passover. Who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses, and the people bowed their head and worshiped. Do y'all hear this? Yes, Passover is a sacrifice. But in Jeremiah 7, the Creator is telling or saying to Jeremiah, I never commanded that. I never commanded that. And we're gonna go to the Peshitta next, which is older than the Masoretic text that we have, and read, and you're gonna see in the KJV they cut half of verse 21 off. We're gonna read that next. But notice what it said right here in Jeremiah 7 and 22. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them. And in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices. So regardless if you like me or not, or feel, are you mad that brothers are bringing this stuff out, it's still in there. Jeremiah is, or the Most High, or the God of Israel saying through the prophet Jeremiah, that wasn't me speaking that. I didn't command that. Right? And if that's too hard to understand, then we go to Joshua. That's one book after Deuteronomy. Joshua, the 5th chapter, and we see that the entire nation kept a fleshless and a bloodless Passover right before Jericho was invaded. See, so we seeing these things. All right, we seeing these things, and we seeing it more and more and more and more. You understand? You see, so what we're saying is every perspective is not the same when you're dealing with the scripture. All right, that's an excellent question. Well, what about the Passover? Now, watch this. Watch this. Let's drop that. Right. Let's go over to Isaiah. Go over to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 66. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. I'm like, dang, why the prophets? It seems like the prophets got a problem with the priest are doing. All right. Isaiah 66:3. It says, he that kills an ox is as if he slew a man. Huh? You know, we love them oxtails, boy. Oxtails. And y'all hear this? He that sacrifices a lamb as if he cut off a dog's neck. It don't sound like the creator is even cool with any of this. Huh? He that kills an ox is as if he slew a man. It's murder. He that sacrifices a lamb as if he cut off a dog's neck. He that offereth an oblation as if he offereth swine's blood. He that burn incense as if he blessed an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delighteth in their abominations. That right there is calling all that abominable. And we can get imaginative and say, oh, that's talking about, the homosexuality that was going on. Oh, that's talking about us not releasing the brothers during the Jubilee and all that. No, he is telling you what it's talking about. He that killed an ox is the same as if he was slaying a man. It's murder. It's murder. Thou shalt not kill. Look at this. Verse 4. I will also choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before mine eyes and chose that which I delighted not. What don't he delight in? Drop that. Let's go to Isaiah 1. Let's see. Clip up. This is easy where I'm having fun with it. That's why I was telling some of the people, man, look, this stuff, it's so easy to break down. I'm having fun. I'm having fun doing this. This is easy work. He said they chose what I didn't desire. What has he not desired? Look at this. It's Isaiah, Yeshayah. Hear the word of the Lord. Hear the word of Yahweh, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our God, ye people of Gomorrah. So right here, Isaiah, another prophet, is calling the wicked rulers in Israel and comparing them to Sodomites, the rulers of Sodom and Gomorrah and the people. We all know what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Now look at this, verse 11. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? We all done read that the Passover is a sacrifice. We just read if you kill an ox, it's the same as if you kill a man. If you slay a lamb, it's the same as if you cut off a dog's head. Huh? To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? Saith the Most High. I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not. He just said they have chosen what I don't delight in. And I delight not in the blood of bullocks or of lambs or of he-goats. Stop right there. The Most High asks him, what is the purpose? What is you even bringing this to me for? I'm full of all that. I don't want none of that. Huh? Look, I don't want the fat. I don't want the blood. I don't want your burnt offerings. What is the purpose of all this? And I delight not in the blood of bullocks or of lambs, Passover, or of he-goats. Y'all, we dealing with food that all the brews eat. We ain't dealing with pork, shrimp, crab, and lobsters here. You see this? Look at this. Verse 12. When you come to appear before me, whoever required this at your hand to tread my courts. That's how you know he's talking to the priest. The priest tread the courts of Yahweh. You dig? If you talking about the altar of burnt offering and all that, and the buckets of blood and the vials of blood and the basins of blood and all that, the priest is in front of the Most High with all that. You got to bring that to the priest. They got to kill that. But the Creator is asking through Isaiah, who told you that I require this? When you come to appear before me, who have required this at your hand to tread my courts? Who commanded this? Who told you this? You see that? So right here, we got prophets saying like, hey, look, you got to, at least, and look, even if you don't want to understand or feel we saying, at least what we are showing is that the prophets, Jeremiah and Isaiah so far, have a problem with what's going on in the temple with the slaughtering of the animals. At least we can admit that. Even if you want to say, look, you looking at that wrong, you did, even if that's what you want to say. You understand? Even if that's what you want to say, and I'll give you that. I'll let you say, bruh, you breaking it down wrong. But at least give it to us, or give it to me that, yeah, they are right there in them spots you just showed. They are in disagreement with the slaughtering of the lambs that was going on in the temple. You understand that they were witnessing in their day. At least give us that, because that's what we read. All right, we ain't going nowhere out of space. We going right in the text and showing you. You see that? Now, let's go ahead and stop that. I'm going to show y'all something else. All right, let me grab this Peshitta real quick for y'all. Show y'all that Jeremiah 7 again in another older version. See, men don't want to look at this thing through a historical lens, though. That'd be my thing. You dig? And then you want to get real superstitious with it, bro. Like, nah, this ain't that. It ain't that. Let me look this up real quick for y'all. Show you. I'm glad the brother asked that, though, man. You understand? A lot of people be afraid to challenge their understanding. All right. So, Jonathan, what we've been bringing out is to show that the different sects kept Passover. Nobody kept Passover the same way. You understand? So, yes, Passover can be observed without the slaying of lambs. That's what we shown. You dig? So we got this understanding like everybody was uniform and everybody was in agreement. I mean, even if we read the scriptures, we see they had Pharisees, Sadducees, they had the Sanhedrin, you got the Saints, you got all different sects, you got the Nazarenes, you got all different sects of Israelites during the first century. Everybody didn't observe, everybody wasn't even on the same calendar. You understand? Everybody wasn't even on the same calendar. Let alone did they observe the feast the same way. So we want to show y'all that real quick. All right. Pull this up. I'm glad the brother asked that, though. Like, that's a sincere question. I can deal with brothers like that, man. You did. Like, I ain't with the funny business, though. I mean, acting funny and weird. Like, we ain't did the research. The research has been done. All right. This Nazarene edition, part 92. You understand? All right, so this right here, Holy Bible from the ancient Eastern text. All right, George M. Lamses from the Aramaic of the Peshitta. All right. Now look at this same Jeremiah 7. All right, let's go down to verse 21. The KJV cut off half the verse. Now this makes sense when you can read that. All right. Jeremiah 7. Let me make sure I'm sharing this with y'all. All right, playing no game. You did. Can't be out here playing no games. All right, let's share this real quick and get it done. Share that. Bang. Bang. All right, let's show this. It's real easy. Somebody better tell these young boys that I do's this. Yeah, you in it, but understand what the rules is. You understand? I do this, baby. All right, so we're gonna go into an older version of Jeremiah 7. All right, older than your KJV, which is Masoretic text, Masoretic. Easy Google search to show you that that's 9th, 10th century of the Common Era. Easy. All right, that's easy work. All right, make sure everybody paying. All right, yeah, we should be on. All right, let me know if y'all can see that. Screen should be sharing. All right, StreamYard is sharing your screen. All right. Let's bring this on up. All right, so y'all see the Jeremiah 7 of the Peshitta. Let's go down to 21. Show you. And hey, man, you taking to and adding away. You taking away from the scripture and you add to the scripture. That's all I be hearing. I'm like, look, Jack, I'm not a scribe. I don't got no authority to change no type of scriptures. I ain't wrote my own Bibles. You crazy? Look at this. Jeremiah 7:21. Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. Add your burnt offerings to your sacrifices and eat meat which I did not command your fathers to eat. Bag drop. Bag drop. Right? What is we talking about here? What is we talking about here? What we really talking about is what I want to know. Dang, do y'all see the screen? Because it ain't coming up on my phone. Do y'all see that? Let me show y'all can see. Let me know if y'all can see the screen, man. Let me know if y'all can see. Give me a 1 if y'all can see the screen on there. Give me a 1. Make sure I can be sane on this deal. That's crazy. I want to make sure we can be sane. I don't want nobody to miss none of this. This is good work here. It's good eating. All right, I can't be seen. All right, cool. Go. Yeah. You say DC sniper class over. See y'all tomorrow. Yeah. All right, bet. Okay. All right, I can't see it. All right, I ain't know if y'all can see that or not. It ain't on my screen at all. All right, let's get back to it. All right. Okay, Elder NehemiYAH, so you can see what we dealing with here. All right, that's what we read now, though. All right, we do's this. Somebody tell these young boys that I do's this. All right. We showing improving. Anybody mumble mouthing and jaw jacking, that's just what it is. But we showing improving what we talking about. All right, Jeremiah 7:21 and 22. All right, Peshitta. All right. 1st, 2nd, 3rd century Common Era. Jeremiah 7:21, 22. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, add your burnt offerings to your sacrifices and eat meat, which I did not command your fathers to eat. Neither did I command them concerning either burnt offerings or sacrifices in the day when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. Bag drop. What we doing here, y'all? KJV cut off half the verse. And eat meat which I did not command your fathers to eat. He's saying, look, neither did I command them concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices in the day when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. So you can't say he's saying eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobsters, because according to the biblical narrative, coming out of Egypt, you was eating lamb. Yeah, all aspects covered. Yeah. Bag you down with it. Now, I say, if you want to swim over here, we can swim over here too. Like we ain't ducking nothing. You see that? Look at that. Good night. Good night. And eat meat that I did not command your fathers to eat. Good night. And what else are we talking about? What else is there to be said? All right. I'm glad KJV cut off the wrong when it came to the meat offering. Now, this is a good question. Facebook, I don't know who this is. It says Facebook user. So did they add to the law when it came to the meat offering? That's an excellent question. You dig? So let's go. You know, you see how you can ask your questions and we just go right to it. No fumbling, no guesswork, no licking of the fingers, no ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. You understand? See, the one thing is this: once you understand the character of the Creator, everything that you read about him should be consistent. You understand? The Creator's not telling you or saying thou shalt not kill and then turn around and say, hey, go slay man, woman, child, infant, sucklings, and animals. Stop it. Stop it. The Creator ain't telling you thou shalt not kill and telling you, hey, go kill your son. Prove your allegiance to me. Y'all, you being played with by a false deity and God. Understand that. You understand? There are false gods in the Bible fronting like they the Creator. That's why you gotta know, like you gotta know the character of the Creator so you can understand, okay, that's right there. That's Creator right there. I can understand that. You understand? Even if that's an angel talking, that's down with true God and I understand the Creator. True God in the kingdom of heaven. You dig? Because it's right and exact. It lines up with what? The Creator's character. So you asked about adding to the law. Now look at this. Look at this. How do you say we are wise? We have wisdom, all right, the application of knowledge, and the Torah or the law of Yah is with us. Lo, certainly in vain made he it. The pen of the scribes is in vain. Now we used to break this down before the understanding came that meant that the scribe was writing in vain because the people wouldn't hear what was written. That was the breakdown. You dig? Now we got to do the tenacious work of going to compare different translations. The scholars then did the work. We just going back over it. All right. Look at this. So we just read the KJV. All right. Let's read the NKJV. How can you say we are wise and the law of the Lord is with us? Look, the false pen of the scribe certainly works falsehood. That brings a whole nother of clarity to what's being said in the KJV. That's not saying that the scribe is writing in vain or wasting his time because the people are not hearing what's written. That's saying what the scribe, the one who writes out the precepts of the Torah, he's interjected falsehood into it. That's hard for a lot of brothers to accept. I know. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. Trust me, I understand. Hold on. Let me share this. My bad, family. Let me share that real quick. Let's show that. Let's show that. Let's show the different translations. All right. The KJV says what? How do you say we are wise and the law of the Lord is with us? Lo, certainly in vain made he it. The pen of the scribe is in vain. That's what we see. All right. NKJV. How can you say, Jeremiah 8:8, how can you say we are wise and the law or the Torah of Yah is with us? Look, the false pen of the scribe certainly works falsehood. So it's saying when you read the other translations or clearer translations that the scholars have dealt with, you understand that the scholars labeled to bring forth, it's saying that the scribes have worked falsehood by interjecting falsehood into the law of Yah, the law of the Lord. That's what it says. NLT, look at this. How can you say we are wise because we had a word of the Lord when your teachers have twisted it by writing lies? Shit, there it is right there. There it is right there. You see? There it is right there. Look at this. We know with the NIV. Let's keep going. Let's do some more. How can you say we are wise and the law of the Lord is with us, but behold, the lying pen of the scribes has made it into a lie? You know, and it's plenty more. Look at this. The NET. How can you say we are wise? We had a Torah of the Lord. The truth is, those who teach it have used their writings to make it say what it does not really mean. There it is. There it is. See, you see how the KJV right here is clearing up the KJV, making it more clear. See? Look at this. What else we got? There's plenty more. YLT. How do you say we are wise in the law of Jehovah is with us? Surely, lo, falsely it have wrought the false pen of the scribes. All right. Yeah, I say it even in Hebrew if you know how to read the Hebrew. All right. This word right here that they use for vanity. If you know how to read the Hebrew or the Hebrew, that's a shin, that's a kuf, and that's a resh. All right. That says shakir. All right. That means lie or falsehood. It's not saying that the scribes were wasting their time writing the Torah. It's saying that they interjected falsehood. There it is right there. If you can read the Hebrew or the Hebrew, some of us read, write, and speak it. You can read this right here and see that it's easily telling you that the Sophrim scribes, the scribes is the last word in that Jeremiah 8:8. Sophrim. All right, scribes. All right, and the word next to this word to the scribes is shakir, falsehood. No doubt you want to thank. Get at me, YAH'KI. Stick around a little while long. I got something else I want to show you too. All right, so right here we're seeing that Jeremiah 8:8 is talking about how lies have been interjected into the Torah. You know what I mean? Malaki ain't making that up. I'm not making it say what I wanted to say. I'm not, you understand, playing on people's intelligence. Y'all got critical thinking skills. You know how to read. You know what's right and what's wrong. Like you already know that. You see that? So whatever anybody talking about absolutely means nothing because you know how to read. Ain't no you leading people astray. For one, I'm nobody. Look, I'm nobody's fearless leader. You dig? All right, hold on. What y'all talking about here? Yeah, he say this Negro. Yeah, that's a DC snipe. You know what it is, man. That's my bruh, man. That's my bruh, man. You did. All right, so let's go show some more though. Let's go show some more. Let's go into the Nazarene Gospels and Ocuwanathan. Trip off this. In the regular Gospels, in the canonized Gospels for Passover, you don't see Messiah chewing on no lamb nowhere. Nowhere. You dig? You got him chewing on fish after he resurrected. We can go over that too. You understand? We're gonna have to really slow down and read, and we can go over the whole in the wilderness, feeding fish. We're walking around with sushi in the wilderness. We can go over that too. All right. So look, let's drop that. Who is this verse long? Everyone. Who's this? Now this your little sister. That's about Cali been rocking you off with that. And used to call it all time, still following and watching. Hey, salute. I salute you in the name of the Creator. All praises. C-S-E-E. That's what's up. You know what I mean? Okay. And walking it down to verse 20 about who asked for sacrifice. No doubt. Oh yeah, we're gonna keep leveling up. All right, so let's go into some of the. Let me show y'all some of this right here. I just showed y'all that. Okay, got that. We're gonna go right here. We're gonna show a little something else. All right. Bang. All right, so we about to go into the Gospel of the Nazarenes. Let me go show y'all some of that real quick. All right, Nazarene Gospel. Y'all know we done did the history. We show how it's actually older than the canonized, authorized Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John. All the synoptics and even John. It's older than all that. All right, we done did the history. This Nazarene edition, part 92. All right, so let me go show y'all that. Share the screen real quick. Watch this. So we're going to go here first. All right, good read. Very revolutionary, man. You dig? Like we dropped this about 18 months ago, boy. It was like a bomb went off in Israel. People got the foaming at the mouth and everything. You know what I mean? Look for very, very, very revolutionary. It's going to challenge you. And then when you compare this with like any type of history or any type of literature, man, you can be like, dang, this stuff popping up everywhere. It's popping up everywhere. Everybody knew about it. We the last ones to find out. Like, dang, you hear them talking about it, and Hey, you hear them talking about it, and it ain't. And look, the people that was instrumental in deciding what was canon and what wasn't. You understand? Those people, they all knew about the stuff we bringing forward. All right. Matter of fact, I might show you that fish situation too, where I got this pulled up. This is a slide that some of the stuff I put together. I think I got some of this. Which one is this one? I got it. I know I got it. Bang. All right, let's go ahead and share screen, Ruby. Make sure I am sharing. Okay, we up. All right, so this is what I want to show y'all real quick. All right, first we're gonna go to, which one is this? No, not chapter 5. Okay, not that one. I guess I don't got that on it. Okay. All right, so look, let's go debunk this right here about the Sea of Galilee, John 21. It's Gospel of the Nazarene, chapter 89. It's after resurrection. After resurrection, look at this right here. Okay. All right. Yahshua appears at the Sea of Galilee, chapter 89. After these things, Yahshua showed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias. That's the Sea of Galilee. And in this way, he showed himself. There were together his brother James. There go the leader. Simon Peter, Thomas called Didymus, Nathanael of Cana, James and John, and 2 other of his disciples. And Peter said to them, I go to set sail. They said to him, we also go forth with you. They went forth and entered into a boat, and immediately, and when they returned, Yahshua stood on the shore, but they did not know it was Yahshua. And Yahshua said to them, friends, have you any food? They answered him, no, sir, not enough for all. There is nothing but a small loaf, a little oil, and a few dried fruits. And he said to them, let these suffice, come and dine. Now James had sworn that he would not eat bread from that hour in which he had drunk the cup of the master. So James was at Passover too. His family, his brothers and them, until he should see him risen from among them that sleep. And shortly thereafter, Yahshua said, bring the table and bread. After he took the bread and blessed it, he broke it and gave it to James the just and said to him, my brother, or YAH'KI, eat your bread, for the Son of Man is risen from among them that sleep. So right here, it's showing you that when he resurrected and he appeared to them in John the 21st chapter at the Sea of Galilee or at the Sea of Tiberias, and they say he was chewing on a dead fish. The older gospels say, no, it was what? A small loaf, a little oil, and a few dried fruits. Y'all see that? That's what it says. All right. Now let me go ahead and pull up this right here for y'all. Since everybody think we out here playing. Since everybody think we playing, somebody tell these young boys I do's this. Let me show y'all this next. Show you how we get around. All right, which one is this? Oh, that's the homily. We go there next. Bag drop. Okay, that's another one. Which one is this? I think this is one of the ones I'm looking for. Yep, right here. All right, how the Messiah and them keep Passover. All right, right here. All right, now look at this. Gospel of the Nazarene, chapter 6. Show you how we do this. Show you how we do this. Hold on one second. Little jokers done got beside themselves. Give me a second. All right, so right here. All right, this is how the Nazarenes keep Passover. But we showed it in Joshua the 5th chapter, didn't we? We showed it in the prophets. All right, Most High don't desire it. He ain't desiring the bloodshed. Whereas, well, dang. So that means that, you know, that was in. How did the law get in there? Then we go to the lion pen of the scribes. Writing things that don't really mean. Now let's look at this. Childhood and youth of Yahshua the Nazarene, chapter 6. Now, Joseph and Miriam, his parents, went up to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover, and they observed the feast after the manner of their brethren, who abstained from bloodshed and to eating the flesh, and from strong drink. And when he was 12 years old, Yahshua went to Jerusalem with them after the custom of the feast. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? So we showing Passovers can be observed without the chewing on dead animals, without slicing the back of a lamb. We showing that. And we showing that everybody didn't observe the feast the same way. So to my brother Yohanathan, that's how you observe it without the bloodshed, without the chewing on the flesh. You understand? And you enjoy yourself. But we're not going to play around as if that's according to the Exodus or the Torah law that we got. It is not. You know what I mean? And that's how you rehearse the righteous acts. I hope that helps you out, bro. All right. So right there, we showing right there that yeah, that ain't they didn't keep they wasn't chewing. We're not saying the Israelites were not slaughtering lambs and you know it was a horrendous smell, and we ain't saying none of that. We ain't saying none of that. You understand? We saying that those that Messiah taught, the light that he brought was one of non-animal consumption. They was not chewing on the flesh. And it wasn't just him. Like he remember he was part of a whole brotherhood. That's how they rocked. That's how they got down. All right. All right. So if y'all get some understanding so far, give me a Yahoo up in the chat. Bless up, bless up. Let me look at the chat. See what y'all got going real quick. Bless up, bless up. I see y'all in the building. All right. A lot of people don't want to deal with this thing. You understand, or challenge themselves to dig deeper, because and that's all in essence we're saying. There's more puzzle, there's more pieces to the puzzle. You understand? We run around like we done solved the mystery, we done solved the riddle. We run around like we got all the pieces to the puzzle. You know good and well you got a half built puzzle. Rejoicing, no, you ain't got all the pieces. You understand? When you look at this thing from a historical lens, you be like, oh, okay, all right. All right, so I see y'all in the building. I see the Yahoos in the building. Bless up. YHWH'S, where my HICKMAN, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, big bro. You already know there's a HICKMAN right there. YHWH'S. One of my St. Louis brother. I salute you. I salute you in the name of Yahweh, brother. In the name of Yahweh, Yahuwah, the creator. All right, all praise, glory, and honor. I see y'all in the building. Okay. Okay. There you go, Cal P. Y'all see what Cal P say, Cosmon Cal? So obviously, it seems that there were two different people upholding two different laws. Exactly. And that's all we've been trying to bring out and show. Everybody was not rocking the same way. Yes, you're absolutely right, brother. That's absolutely right. You did. Real talk. Okay, let's drop that and let's go deal with our brother Barnabas, another pioneer of the movement, right? Like Barnabas was trained up by the apostles themselves. Let's go see. Now, before we even get into Barnabas, let me show y'all this. All right, let's show that. I'm very well studied over here, man. Like we ain't playing no games with it. Okay? And it's all praise to the Creator. No bragging. We're not looking for any type of, you know. He say 3 a.m. is coming. What's going down at 3 a.m.? You want a thigh, man? Yeah, hit me up. Hit me up. Honor you out here. I'm gonna put the email in the chat. HonorandHumilitySTL at gmail.com. Hit me up. I'm always down to chop it up with the family, man. HonorandHumilitySTL at gmail. Hit my line, bro. Go ahead and have these conversations. All right? Let's have these conversations. All right, we show, not looking. If brothers is in the KJV, we swim over there with you. We're not afraid. Like, that's what I'm saying. Whatever it takes to have a dialogue and to chop it up. You understand? We understand a lot of our people are stuck there. You understand? And as long as I'm on the bridge, I'm going to keep the bridge intact so brothers can cross over to the other side. You know what I mean? And deal. That's why I left a trail so brothers could find us. This Nazarene edition part 92. I left a trail. I could have just dropped this last year and went quiet and said the hell with everybody. Left a trail. You understand? So no doubt, brother. Well, look, may the Most High bless you out and may give you all your senses and your energy and everything. You understand? Sleep well, brother. Bless up. All right. We're going to go into the gospel or the epistles of Barnabas. All right. Before we do that, let's get into some history. All right. The oldest existing New Testament manuscript available to the public is what's called Codex Sinaiticus. This is actually their website right here. I'm going to go ahead and copy that and put that in the link for y'all. We transparent. We share everything we got and everything. Ain't nobody had nothing. All right. All right. All right. That's the website. Y'all go look that up. Now, notice what it says, though. Notice it says Codex Sinaiticus. Experience the oldest Bible. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Right here. It said Codex Sinaiticus is one of the most important books in the world. Handwritten well over 1,600 years ago. So y'all well over before the 400s. All right, in the 300s. All right, well over 1,600 years ago, the manuscript contains the Christian Bible in Greek, including the oldest. Look at this, including the oldest complete copy of the New Testament. Including the oldest complete copy of the New Testament. Its heavily corrected text is of outstanding importance for the history of the Bible and the manuscript. The oldest substantial book to survive antiquity is of supreme importance for the history of the book. Do y'all hear this? So the KJV you have is not older than even the Codex Sinaiticus. The KJV you have is not even older than the Peshitta. The KJV you have is not even older than the Septuagint. Well, you got something new. And we banging, we so prideful, you know what I mean? Thus saith this, bro. You don't even know what you're dealing with. You don't even know what you're dealing with. Now, let's go look at the contents. Let's go look at the contents. The reason I brought that out is because of this. Now we got to go look at the contents of Codex Sinaiticus. Go look at the content. All right. Let's go to Wikipedia. Wikipedia going to tell you what's all in it. And that's going to get us to Barnabas, all right? So you can go to Wikipedia. Look, all this stuff is easy to look up, y'all. You ain't even got to go that hard. Showing you some heathen scholars. Now look at this. Let's go to contents. This is what's in the Codex Sinaiticus. All right? So in the Old Testament portions of it. All right, some of it's in fragments, but you got Genesis, Leviticus, Numbers. Dang, is Exodus in there? Dang, hold on. Don't tell me. Is Exodus in this? That's crazy. Genesis, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Chronicles, Ezra, through Nehemiah, Book of Esther, Book of Tobit, Book of Judith, First Maccabees, Fourth Maccabees, Book of Isaiah, Book of Jeremiah, Book of Lamentation, Minor Prophets, omitting the Book of Hosea. That ain't even in here. Book of Psalms, Book of Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Songs, Wisdom of Solomon, Wisdom of Sirach, Book of Job. All right. The text of the New Testament is arranged. Now look at this right here, though. Fourth and First Maccabees. Y'all see that? Is in Codex Sinaiticus. And First and Fourth Maccabees is part of the Old Testament. You got Esther, Tobit. You know what I mean? You got the Wisdom of Solomon in here, Wisdom of Sirach, all that. Book of Job. Job is the last book. But notice Exodus ain't in here. I didn't even trip off that to just now. Exodus ain't even in Codex Sinaiticus. Nor Hosea. Now, look what's in the New Testament. The contents. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Romans, 1 Corinthians, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, dang, or Acts it. Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, Hebrews, 1 and 2 Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Acts, James, 1 Peter, 2 Peter, 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, Jude, Revelations, Epistle of Barnabas, and the Shepherd of Hermas. Bag drop. You mean to tell me the Epistle of Barnabas used to be part of the New Testament and the Shepherd of Hermas? Huh? So later for the you adding to the Bible and taking away from it. You can miss us with that. You know why? Because the Shepherd of Hermas should be in the New Testament you have right now. The Epistles of Barnabas should be in that New Testament you have right now. And the fact is not in there, but it's in the oldest New Testament in existence, shows you that somebody or councils of men voted to remove and voted to add. If the Shepherd of Hermas and the Epistles of Barnabas and 1st Maccabees, 4th Maccabees, hell, they ain't even in the Apocryphal 4th Maccabees. 4th Maccabees told, if none of this is in the Bible that you have now, then y'all, that means councils of men been taken away from the Bible and added to it. It ain't me. Huh? It ain't me. What you mean I'm adding to the Bible and taking away from it? Why the Epistles of Barnabas ain't in, you know what I mean? Why the Epistles of Barnabas ain't in the New Testament? Why the Shepherd of Hermas ain't in there? That's right. Excellent read. Salute you in the name of Yahweh. Salute you in the name of the Creator. Excellent read. You know what I mean? All praise. Yep. 4th Maccabees in the Old Testament. Pseudepigrapha. Absolutely. I read it all the time, actually. Excellent read. You see that? All right. So nobody can run their mouth and act like, man, Malachi taking away from the scriptures and add to it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm simply showing you, historically speaking, when you look at the older text, it's stuff missing. It's half verses missing. You don't even get the same understanding. We dealing with scribal errors. You understand? Or intentional scribal tamperings. That's what you're dealing with. All right? That's right. It is what it is. Easy work. So let's go to Barnabas. Let me show y'all some of that. And Barnabas breaks down the dietary law. Okay, everybody love Leviticus 11, bro. Let's go read about Barnabas. We just read that Barnabas is supposed to be in the Bible. Somebody between the 4th century and now voted to remove Barnabas. We're gonna go see why. Let's go show. All right, easy work. Bless up. All right. Somebody tell these young boys that we do this. DC Sniper in the building, my beloved brother. What's the word, HICKMAN? All right. So we're going to the Epistles of Barnabas. All right. Y'all can go get that deal and look at it. It'll blow your mind. All right. And Barnabas goes into the understanding dealing with Leviticus 11 and the chewing on dead animals. All right. My book right here, page 24. All right, easy work, man. Like, we ain't making none of this up. This is easy. I'm having fun doing this. All right, and let all the bros know they got a problem. Look, Malachi Maccabee love to rap about it. Easy work. And if you camera shy, I understand. If you camera shy, Jack, I understand. You understand? But I ain't camera shy. But if you are, we can do it privately then. You understand? But stand on your word and hit my line, Jack. Don't play. Don't run like I ain't just had you on the phone today and you was confounded. Don't play with me. Like, if I keep it 100 with you, just keep it 100 with me. That's it. Keep it G with me. You understand? Look at this. Spiritual significance of the precepts of Moses respecting different kinds of food. Now, wherefore did Moses say, thou shalt not eat the swine, nor the eagle, nor the hawk, nor the raven, nor any fish which is not possessed of scales? He embraced 3 doctrines in his mind. Now, this is Barnabas. All right? This is Barnabas. And he's understanding and giving a breakdown on what Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14 really mean. Nah, Cosmon Cal, Revelations is not the last book of the Bible. No, it's not. It is today, but the oldest New Testament in existence, the Shepherd of Hermes is. And that's a powerful read. I advise y'all to read. Very, very powerful. Full of parables and timeless wisdom. You know what I mean? Now, wherefore did Moses say, thou shalt not eat the swine, nor the eagle, nor the hawk, nor the raven, nor any fish which is not possessed of scales. He embraced three doctrines in his mind in doing so. Moreover, the master saith to them in Deuteronomy, and I will establish my ordinances among this people. Is there not a command of God that they should not eat these things? There is. Yeah, you ain't supposed to be chewing on swine. Absolutely. There is a commandment not to eat these things. But look at this. But Moses spoke with a spiritual reference. For this reason, he named the swine as much as to say, thou shalt not enjoin thyself to men. Thou shalt not enjoin thyself to men. I'm going to page 25. Is the 25 right here. All right, so not eating the swine means you should not join yourself to men. All right, that resemble swine. For when they live in pleasure, they forget their master. But when they come to want, they acknowledge the master. And in like manner, the swine, when it has eaten, does not recognize its master. But when hungry, it cries out. And on receiving food, it's quiet again. Y'all heard that? He's saying the reason he told you not to eat the swine is because of the characteristics of the swine. That's why he told you that, not to eat that. You know what I mean? Hold on for a second, y'all. All right, so look at this right here. So he's saying, look, it was given for a spiritual reason. Like we wasn't supposed to be taking that literal. You understand? Yeah, you ain't supposed to be eating on it, but the flesh laws were given to you so you can understand the characteristics of men. We call each other beasts and animals today. I'm a beast. I'm a dog. You understand? I'm a hog. You call yourself an animal today. You compare the characteristics of animals to men. And that's what that was about. That wasn't about nothing physical. Right? The laws in Leviticus ain't about chewing on loin meat. All right? All right? For when they live in pleasure, they forget their master. But when they come to want, they acknowledge the master. And in like manner, the swine, when it has eaten, does not recognize its master. But when hungry, it cries out. And on receiving food, it's quiet again. So you don't want to become a swine in spirit nor associate yourself with nobody like that. You understand? Because they never content. They never satisfied. All right. When everything all good, you forget your maker. You count your ones, nigga. You don't count your blessings, though. When it's all good, you don't remember creator. All right. But when you come to wanting that stomach touching that back, now you the most holy religified Negro in existence. No, you swine, Jack. That's what that is. All right. When it has eaten, it don't recognize the Most High or the Creator. But when it's hungry again, it cries out and it's quiet again. So that's talking about don't be a swine in spirit. That's somebody that's never content. You understand? And easily bites the hand that feeds them. Easily forgets its maker. Easy. You understand that? So that's what he mean by not dealing with the swine. All right. He ain't running around here talking about, you know what I mean, simply not chewing on some pig meat. You understand? He talking about, hey, look, this is a spiritual significance. Don't deal with these people. You don't become like this and you don't deal with nobody like that. You see that? Look at this. Neither shalt thou eat, says he, the eagle, nor the hawk, nor the kite, nor the raven. Thou shalt not join thyself, he means, as such men as know not how to procure food for themselves by labor and sweat, but seize on that of others in their iniquity. And although wearing an aspect of simplicity, are on the watch to plunder others. So these animals, he's telling you, the swine, ungrateful, lazy, forgets his maker. These birds right here are predatory birds. You understand? They don't get up and flex their skills and use their skills to feed their people. They don't do that. Huh? They the jack boys. They out there robbing everybody. As soon as you get your bag, they come take it. So that's what he meant by not chewing on, you understand, eagles and ravens and hawks, because those are predators. And you don't want to become like that nor associate yourself with anybody like that. You see that? He said this ain't got nothing to do with something physical. All right? This is about the characteristics of men. If y'all understand that so far, give me a 4 up in the chat. Bless up. All right, let's keep going. All right, it says right here. It says right here, to such men as know not how to procure food for themselves by labor and sweat, but seize on that of others in their iniquity. And although wearing an aspect of simplicity, are on the watch to plunder others. So these birds, while they sit idle, inquire how they may devour the flesh of others. Proving themselves pests to all by their wickedness. And thou shalt not eat, he says, the lamprey or the polypus or the cuttlefish. He means thou shalt not join thyself or be like to such men as are ungodly to the end and are condemned to death. This is about the characteristics of men, because men act like animals. You see that? In like manner, as to those fishes above accursed float in the deep, the bottom feeders, the leeches, right? You know, people that come around because they want something, not swimming on the surface like the rest, but make their abode in the mud, which lies at the bottom. Moreover, thou shalt not, he says, eat the hare or the rabbit. Why or wherefore? Thou shalt not be a corrupter of boys. Really, nor like unto such, nor like unto such. Okay, right here. It says, nor like unto such, because the hare or the rabbit multiplies year by year, the places of his conception. So a rabbit ain't got no type of sexual discernment. He laying his seed wherever. You ain't supposed to be like that, nor are you to be a corrupter of boys. Look at this. Look at this. For as many years as it lives, so many it has. Right. And we understand this, like the seeds you have, you're responsible for them. Right. But we all know it's plenty men out here that are what? Rolling stones. You understand? My people, daddy had 30-some children. 30. It's safe to say he took on the spirit of a rabbit. You see that? He took on the spirit of a rabbit. Hey, bless your hands, seal the elect. Right on for the contribution, my brother. Bless your hands. Bless up. See that? Took on the spirit of a rabbit and just laying seed wherever. Now you ain't supposed to be like that. Like this. For as many years as it lives, so many it has. Moreover, thou shalt not eat the hyena. He says, thou shalt not be an adulterer, nor a corrupter, nor be like. Nor be like to them that are such. Why? Because that animal annually changes its sex, the hyena, and is at one time male and at another female. So the whole spirit of being a cross-dresser, that's a hyena spirit. Okay, you don't be like that. You understand? You a man, boy. You was a boy, Damon. That's right, my brother Yazoo. Bless up, Yazoo. Bless up, Yazoo. It's my brethren right there. Yeah, you know, we're taking on the spirit of a rabbit, and you know what I mean? Or even a weasel, like it just said, or, you know, whatever it just said. It was letting you know, like, look, you ain't supposed to be like that. That sucker changed its sex. Moreover, he has rightly detested the weasel. For he means thou shalt not be like to those whom we hear of as committing wickedness with the mouth, on account of their uncleanness. Nor shalt thou be joined to those impure women who commit iniquity with the mouth. For this animal, the weasel, conceives by the mouth. Good night. Good night. I'm going to leave that there. Good night. Right. Moses then issued 3 doctrines concerning meats with spiritual significance. It was not a physical significance, y'all. We strictly to warn you to not be like and not to associate with people like that, because you are what you eat and you are the company you keep. See that? See that? That's simple. Look at this. Moses then issued 3 doctrines concerning meats with a spiritual significance, but they, talking about our forefathers, received these doctrines or these laws the flesh laws, but they received them according to fleshly desire, as if he had merely spoken of literal meats. Good night. Good night. Never about meat. Good night. Our people received it as a fleshly commandment. It's never about that. And mighty funny, the Epistles of Barnabas was in the New Testament in the 4th century, but today it ain't in there. I wonder why. And even if you don't agree with what we're saying, you can't deny that we're reading something that challenges the traditional narrative. At least be real with us on that. Say, look, I don't agree with what y'all saying, but y'all are reading in the Bible and history and other sources, you understand, things that challenge the traditional view. At least admit that. Be 100 with it. Keep it 1,000,000 with it. It's like, yeah, bro, you are reading something that challenges that view. I don't agree with it, but at least keep it gutter with me, because I'm going to keep it gutter with you. I'm always going to tell you, I'm always going to tell the people, look, to be fair, I know them brothers don't mean that. David, however, comprehends the knowledge of the 3 doctrines and speaks in like manner. Blessed is the man who have not walked in the counsel of the ungodly, even as the fishes referred to go in darkness to the depths of the sea, and have not stood in the way of sinners, even as those who profess to fear the Most High, but go astray like swine, and have not sat in the seat of scorners, even as those birds that lie in wait for prey. Take a full and firm grasp of this spiritual knowledge. But Moses says still further, you shall eat every animal that is cloven-footed and ruminant. What does he mean? The ruminant animal denotes him who, on receiving food, recognizes him that nourishes him, and being satisfied by him is visibly made glad. Well spoke Moses. Well spoke Moses. Hold on, I thought I had verse 26, 25, 28. Man, I thought I had that page 27 on here, Jack. Hold on, 26, 25, 28, 24. Ah, that's crazy. I just got the last one on here, y'all. I thought I had that. Oh. No, I ain't tripping. What's this one right here? That's 25. That's 28. That's 24. I ain't even got it on here. That's crazy, man. I'm just going to finish this 28 out. Y'all read all of chapter 10 of the Epistle of Barnabas, all right? It said, what then does he mean? That we ought to join ourselves. That we ought to join ourselves to those that fear the Most High, those who meditate in their heart on the commandment which they have received, those who both utter the judgments of the Most High and observe them, those who know that meditation is a work of gladness and who ruminate upon the word of the Most High. But what means the cloven-footed? That the righteous man who walks in this world yet looks forward to the holy state to come. Behold how well Moses legislated. But how was it possible for them to understand or comprehend these things? We then rightly understanding these commandments, we then rightly, this is Barnabas, because Barnabas is a disciple, a student of the apostles. He say, we then rightly understanding his commandments, explain them as the Most High intended. For this purpose, he circumcised our hearts, our ears, that we might understand these things. Barnabas said, the breakdown I just gave is what the Most High intended. That the flesh laws was never about chewing on animal sandwiches. It was never about chewing on loin meat. It was strictly about who to associate with and who not to associate with. What character or spirit to be in and what character or spirit not to be in. That's what that was about. It wasn't about nothing else. All right? It wasn't about nothing else. It had nothing to do. It had nothing to do with the chewing on animals. All right? And a lot of people don't want to hear that. A lot of people don't want to hear that, man. That's right. We Okay, I see y'all in the building. We getting some understanding. We rolling. Bless up. Bless up. Bless up. We rolling and showing. All right. And my bro Yehuda, he put that post up earlier. You know what I mean? He put the post up about Barnabas, and that's when I had the conversation with the one guy, and that's what inspired the class. All right, well, we're gonna talk about it then. Because we can swim right into KJV and prove our point. And then once we go ahead and case close and close the casket over there, then we bring in the history. Then we bring in other literature and other texts verifying what we're saying. You understand? This stuff ain't hard. This stuff ain't hard at all, man. Easy work. All right, so let's drop that and let's go show something else. I want to show something else to y'all. All right. Let's drop that and let's show. We're gonna go into the Bible real quick. I want to show y'all because what's the understanding? And that's what I've been trying to have. I've been trying to have a conversation about the understanding of flesh, meats, or food offered to idols. What is that? And why do I have that understanding or that conversation? It's because in the book of Acts, the 15th chapter, verse 29, we see James, Yahshua's brother, gave a command to teach about to Paul, and all the other apostles. They all knew this, to abstain from meats offered to idols. That you abstain. Look at this, James talking to Paul and Barnabas. He wrote them letters of recommendation and was like, look, this is what you teach when you get out there amongst the quote-unquote Gentiles or the nations. All right? They were in the Jerusalem Council. This was in Jerusalem. It was the Jerusalem Council. All right? You had to come check in Jerusalem if you was in the first century talking about you preaching about Yahshua of Nazareth and teaching about the coming kingdoms and you preaching and teaching about the Creator. You had to come check in Jerusalem because those brothers had the light. They were the brotherhood of light. All right. So when you get down to verse 29, Paul finally comes to Jerusalem with Barnabas, the Barnabas we just read. And it's the same Barnabas that he fell out with in this very same chapter. Barnabas explained the dietary law or the flesh laws as being spiritual. It had nothing to do physically with nothing. All right. Now, watch this. Acts 15 and 29, that you abstain from meats offered to idols, and from blood, and from things strangled, and from fornication, from which if you keep yourselves, you shall do well. So the command went out to show you this is James talking. All I gotta do is go up to verse 12, you'll see. All right. James's judgment. He's in charge of the whole Nazarene movement in Jerusalem. All right. Paul was commanded to teach this. Paul went and did his own thing. That's a whole nother topic. All right. But notice James is commanding Paul, this is what you teach. All right. So the question is that there was no New Testament then. So the question is, what is meats offered to idols according to Torah? Because that's all they had at the time. So what is that? What's the understanding on that? All right. Now, let's go understand. Let's go see if Peter understood what meats offered to idols is. All right. Let's go see that. All right. Then we go show it Paul. If Paul taught the same thing. You see, Paul was teaching something different. All right. He was teaching something different. Watch, I'm going to show you. All right. I tell these young boys that I do this. Surgical with it. Easy work. Easy work. All praise to the Creator. All right. Look at this. This right here is called the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, or AKA Clementine Homilies. All right. This is the works of Simon Peter or Shimon Kepha. All right. Documented by Clement, who was commanded by James to follow Peter around and document his teachings and document his battles with Simon Magus. All right, Simon Magus was one of the ops. All right, so what I want to do is go show y'all this. So to show y'all this is Peter in this first century we talking about here. All right, they call it Peter's Acts or Nazarene Acts or Clementine Homilies. You see all that. All right, and you see the church fathers knew about Peter's Acts and the Nazarene Acts and all that, but ask yourself this, why it ain't in the Bible? Hell, Acts ain't even in Codex Sinaiticus, nor is Exodus. or Jose. It's crazy. It's a lot going on, man. Okay, yeah. No doubt, YAH'KI, you already know I got you. Now look at this right here. Peter addresses the people, right? So let's get on over here. We showing that's Peter. Let's go to the golden rule. All right, watch this. If y'all got the Clementine Homilies, page 120, Nazarene Act. And this is what Peter was teaching. Now look at this. Look at this right here. It says, wherefore, as then ye were deceived by the forerunner Simon, and so became dead in your souls to God, and were smitten in your bodies. So now if you repent, as I said, and submit to those things which are well pleasing to the Creator, you may get new strength to your bodies and recover your soul's health. Yeah, the Nazarene scenes were all about health, healing. You understand? Right? Botanicals, spirit, crystals, whatever you talking about. Laying on hands, whatever. Herbs, whatever you talking about. These brothers was all about the healing. They was all about the anatomy of the body. They understood what made the body tick and what made it shut down, right? So look at this. You may get new strength to your bodies and recover your soul's health. And the things which are well pleasing to God are these: to pray to him, to ask from him, recognizing that he is the giver of all things and gives with discriminating law, to abstain from the table of devils. Not to taste dead flesh. Hold on. Peter understood that the table of devils had to do with chewing on animal sandwiches. Peter understood, when we go read this next one, understood that eating meats offered to idols had to do with chewing on the carcasses of dead animals. So when James commands Paul to teach to abstain from meats offered to idols, we go to another apostle. We go to an apostle for real, Peter. And he understood what that meant. Who Peter get his teachers from, Messiah? He knew him, actually. Peter is saying right here in the Nazarene Acts that abstaining from the table of devils has to do with not tasting dead flesh, not to touch blood, and to be washed from all pollution, and to rest in one word. Y'all see this? So when we talk about the table of devils and abstaining from meats and abstaining from meats offered to idols, then dead flesh, you understand, is a no-no. It's a no-no. Where we at now? We still talking? That's what I'm saying. Like, what we really talking about here? What's really going on? All right, watch this. I want to show y'all something. Now watch this. Hold on, computer freezing. Hold on. Right here, page 134. Peter again. The service of the Creator's appointment. All right. Look at this. And this is the service he has appointed, to worship him only. Creator only, baby. Creator only, baby. To worship him only and trust only in the prophet of truth. And to be baptized for the remission of sins, and thus by this pure baptism be born again unto the Creator by saving water. To abstain from the table of devils. That is, from food offered to idols. Drum roll. From dead carcasses. What else are we talking about? Yes, the table of devils and equals food offered to idols equals dead animal flesh. What else are we talking about? What else are we talking about here? I mean, do we still arguing? Ain't nothing to argue about. James, Yahshua, brother, commanded Paul and Barnabas to teach to abstain from meats offered to idols. What is meats offered to idols? I asked the silly youngin earlier. You know what he said? Oh, it's abomination. I ain't asked you if it was disgusting, boy. I asked you what it is. And we go right to Peter's writings, and he tell you what it is. To abstain from the table of devils. That is, from food offered to idols, from dead carcasses, from animals which have been suffocated or caught by wild beasts, and from blood. Backdrop. What are we talking about here? Sound like Peter understood what it means to abstain from meats offered to idols. That means don't be chewing on dead animals. That's what that means. That's what that means. You understand? And the brothers understood that. Brothers understood the brothers understood it because that's what Yahshua taught. That movement was a plant-based movement. They was not chewing on animals. They was against the sacrifices. They was against the bloodshed. What else we need to show? And there's plenty more. There's plenty more we can show. You understand? Now, let's go see if Paul understood this. Let's go show. This, man, is easy. Tell them young boys that I do's this. And I'm still waiting. What's up? Let's have a convo. Or let's shoot the fade in front of everybody. Or we can do it in private. It's up to you. Right? But don't be out there running your mouth like we don't know what we talking about. And then we bring all this out. And you ain't even squirting a water pistol. You better off spitting at an elephant. Y'all remember in Harlem Nights? Quick, you broke my nose, man. He sprayed the shop up with the Tommy gun, and then dude come out with that little small pea shooter. Pow! He said, "Man, if you don't put that little thing up, stop shooting that. Man, y'all was better off spitting on the elephant." You understand? It is what it is, man. This is easy. Like, we having fun doing what we doing. All right. Now let's go ahead and get this. All right. All right, let's go show. Remember, Paul was commanded to teach a certain way, and he went the other way. And he taught, and then when he did speak about meats offered to idols, it was his own understanding. It wasn't what we just read. Peter came right out and told you what meat offered to idols is. It's dead flesh. Don't be eating that. Don't be eating that. Then we just read one of the apostles for real tell you what meat offered to idols is, what the table of devils is. We just read that. And Peter said what? It's chewing on animals. It's chewing on dead flesh. If you understand that, give me a 3 up in the chat. Bless up. Now look what Paul said. His understanding on what it is different than the apostles. All right, he didn't teach the same thing, and I'm about to prove it right now. Right now. This is how we prove Paul didn't teach the same thing. James said, abstain from meats offered to idols. Peter said, the things that are well pleased to the Most High is to abstain from the table of devils, from dead flesh. All right, to abstain from meats offered to idols. That is dead carcasses. So we clear what a real apostle was teaching. And what the brother of Messiah commanded, we clear on that. Now let's read what Paul teaches. 1 Corinthians 10 and 25. Let's read what Paul teaches. Whatsoever is sold in the shambles that eat, asking no question for conscience sake, for the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Like for one, what do you mean whatever is sold at the meat market of the shambles? You got a right to eat that. Look at this. That ain't what he's saying, Malaki. Okay. Let's go look at all the scholars who actually read Greek. You know what I mean? Negroes don't read no Greek. The scholars read Greek. Huh? What are you talking about? Look at this. Look at this. All right, let's go to the NLT. It said right here. So you may eat any meat that is sold in the marketplace without raising questions of conscience. Come on, Jack. That ain't what we just read. James said, abstain from meats offered to idols. Peter told you what the meats offered to idols is. It's dead flesh. Stop eating it. You understand? And if you read all of what Peter was talking about, he had to heal a whole masses, like a big old crowd in Tyre and Zidon, because Simon Magus, who some say is Paul, was eating meat offered to idols and giving it to them, and they all got sick. And Peter had to come not only pray for them, but show them how to heal themselves. You understand? And guess what it was? It was the flesh. It was the dead flesh. And that's why he would tell them, stay away from that flesh, because that's well-pleasing to the Creator. Now look at this. Eat anything sold in the meat market without raising questions of conscience. Eat whatever is sold in the meat market without raising any questions on the ground of conscience. Now, even if you believe Paul was speaking the same thing as them, if I go off what he's saying, eat whatever, well, surely in the meat market there has to be some type of flesh offered to idols. Damn. Surely. Eat anything and everything that is sold in the meat market without raising questions for the sake of conscience. We got Barnabas telling you that the physical flesh laws was all spiritual. It had to do with the characteristics of men, what spirit to take on and what spirit not to take on, who to associate with and who not to associate with. Then we go to James, and James is saying, abstain from meats offered to idols. Then we go to Peter, and Peter is explaining exactly what it is. Now we go to Paul, and this nigga saying you can eat whatever you want. It's not the same message. That's the point. It's not the same message. He's teaching something totally different. That's what brothers don't want to see, man. Playing. Stop playing with this thing. And stop acting like we tiptoeing. We've been outside. This is Nazarene edition part 92. What are we talking about here? Ain't nothing else to say. I could drag this on all night if I want to. I got so much more stuff to show you. I can drag this on and show you place after place, bomb after bomb. And that's all you ever heard from over this way was a bomb drop. We ain't never been teaching smooth like he got some Grey Poupon, or it's spread like parquet. Huh? A country crock. Stop that. If anything you heard from Honor and Humility was a bomb, that's it. You dig? And it caused you what? It challenges you what? Go back to the drawing board. It challenges you to re-examine what it is you're looking at to make you better. You understand? To make you better. That's all that is. You got men running around here talking about what we talking about is satanic. Evil. So is evil not to be chewing on animals? Is evil not to be killing the innocent animals? Are you serious? Look at what our people were saying out here. Look at the logic. You're not supposed to be chewing on it. That's the point. Paul didn't agree with that. And that's why he started dissing the brothers. Talking about in the last days, some shall give heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, commanded to abstain from meats. Nah, bro, you was commanded to teach to abstain from meats offered to idols. When Paul say teaching to abstain from meats, y'all, he talking about the apostles. That ain't no prophecy, nigga. You already commanded to teach to abstain from meats offered to idols. You gonna talk about in the last days that somebody gonna pop up named MALAKIMAC and teach to abstain from meats offered to idols. Stop that. When you was already commanded to abstain from it. That's like me telling you in 2008 to 2016, there will be a black man president in America named Barack Hussein Obama. If I told y'all that right now, does that stand as prophecy? If I told y'all that while Barack was president, does it stand as prophecy? No, it don't. Paul speaking on what's already happening, what's already being taught in his time. He ain't talking about a MALAKIMAC in the year 2021, 2022. He ain't talking about me. He talking about the brothers and the sisters. He talking about the brothers and the sisters, the apostles who are running the Messiah's movement from Jerusalem. He got a problem with them. So now you at a crossroads. Who knew Messiah better? Who hold the light? Could it be his brothers and his family and his disciples that he raised up who knew him, laughed with him, hugged him, smelled his farts, ate with him, witnessed his miracles, sat at his kneecaps and learned his teachings? Or is it Paul, a man that never met him? I can't make that decision for you. You as a man got to be like, you know what? It do make more sense that those who would know Messiah and have his true teachers will be the ones who know him, the ones who know him, the ones who broke bread with him, the ones who learned from him, the ones who laughed with him and hugged on him and cried with him, the ones that smelled his farts. Yeah, you know what I'm saying that because James's brother was his brother. So, you know, you grow up in a house with people, you know them. You see what I'm saying? So now you at a crossroads, you dig? And that don't mean everything you read from Paul is wrong, but once you get into Peter's the Nazarene Acts and all that, you realize Paul got all that from the apostles. All the deep stuff Paul famous for saying, that's in the Nazarene Acts. That's in the Nazarene Acts. You know what I mean? So the apostles already out here getting it done, man. Now watch this right here. Y'all already ain't messing with you today, man. Hey, you know what, Jax? I was thinking about doing some shorts, man, earlier today. I was looking at another bro. I said, you know what? I need to start doing them shorts, man. A couple times a week, get that crack. It did. So Paul is teaching something different. Okay? And everybody know it. Eat everything. Look at CSB. Eat everything that is sold in the meat market without raising questions for the sake of conscience. Alien meat, booty meat, gator meat, squirrel meat, pig meat. Huh? Lamb meat, chicken meat. Paul is saying you can eat whatever. But that's not the orders that came out of Jerusalem. That is not the orders that he got. That's not the orders that he got. You see that? So he's teaching something different. He's not teaching what the brothers understood or what was being taught or what was being commanded. He started doing his own thing. So James started sending men at him. And when you read Galatians, you'll see it. Paul cursing them out and everything. He cursing the men out. He wishing they was castrated. He cursing them. You dig? He doing all type of stuff. You dig? He's saying anybody bring up that with circumcision, they need to fall up under the judgment of castration. Dang, what is this dude doing? What is he really doing? You dig? Meat offered to idols is not just because somebody tell you, oh, this is offered to Buddha. Oh, this is offered to Amun-Ra. Oh, no, it's offered to an idol or a devil, in specific a goat god or Baphomet, if it has not been prepared and slaughtered, how the Torah say it's supposed to be prepared and slaughtered. Nobody in this earth is slaughtering their animals like that. And even if you knew how to prepare, the Maccabees knew how to prepare. And they still didn't chew on the flesh. They ate herbs while the Greeks had the temple under attack. They knew how to slaughter animals. The Maccabees, Judah Maccabee and them, they come from a long line of priests. Mattathias and them were priests. The priests know how to slaughter animals. But when the temple in Jerusalem was under attack, you dig? And the altar was profaned, them brothers didn't taste animals. They didn't chew on damn animal sandwich once the temple was under attack. You understand? In our case, y'all, there ain't no temple. You ain't in Jerusalem, and there ain't no altar. And most of y'all claim that the Lamb is the Messiah. So what you chewing on then? If the brothers who could have slayed their own flocks and ate some Passover lamb, who knew exactly how to do the ceremonies and the rites, if they didn't even do it, what make you think a Negro today can do it? Huh? It's sacrificed to a idol or a goat god if it has not been slaughtered, prepared, and killed how the Torah says it's supposed to be slaughtered, prepared, and killed. It's considered offered to a devil or an idol. You know what I mean? Also, so a lot of brothers bring up Abraham, where Abraham was chewing on chicken wings with angels. Now, if you choose to believe that, okay, whatever. Last I checked, according to Psalm 78:25, angels' food is manna. It's not animal sandwiches. It's not loin meat. It's not lamb shoulders. So if you choose to believe that, yeah, you know what's that? It's in the Bible. And tell them close the door. So if you choose to believe that Abraham was eating oxtails with some angels, then you got to go with the part to where he said, go make ready. Go prepare this. And when you look up the word for go make ready and go prepare this, when you look that word up, guess what you're going to run into? The Hebrew word for preparation. There are laws for preparation. What I'm saying is all the Negroes chewing on lamb, chicken, turkey, Popeye chicken sandwiches, Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches, T-bone steaks, sirloin steaks, loin meat, Passover. All the brothers chewing on that. They are not, that animal has not been slain or processed. How the flesh laws say it's supposed to be processed and slain before you can ever chew on that, Jack. So Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14, Barnabas told you it was never about the flesh, it was spiritual. But even if you going off the flesh and you taking it physical, well, you got to bring in the laws of preparation. Abraham knew the laws of preparation in Genesis 18. You skip over that. Isaac told Esau to go make his venison. You skip over the laws of preparation. He said, go make ready. Go look it up. Scroll down. You're going to see preparation. Abraham knew the law of building altars. You see, that's in the book of Genesis, the 12th and the 13th chapter. He building altars. These bros knew the laws of preparation. So if you're going to hang with the laws of flesh, then you got to go all out with that. Go all out with the flesh then. Because they got to be prepared and slaughtered and killed. How the Torah say it's supposed to be killed, prepared, slaughtered. Why you think the fake imposter Jews got what they call kosher? They get the idea from the Torah. The Torah actually say you supposed to be slaughtering and preparing that animal a certain way before you kill it and eat it. If that's the law, I don't go by the flesh law, so that don't apply to me. But if you going by flesh laws, go by the flesh laws. Don't bring me Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14 and that chicken wing or that turkey wing been sitting in the grocery store for 4 weeks. Also, according to the meats offered to idols, the flesh can't be dead longer than 2 days. What is you talking about? It can't be dead no longer than 2 days, or it's an abomination. We out here throwing out meat, going to the deep freezer, throwing out meat, been in there a whole year. Nah, this thing all off. It's off. It's off. If you gonna stand on the flesh law, stand on it. And what you're gonna realize is, nah, we ain't even got the provision to do any of that. And I propose it's like that because we was never supposed to be chewing on animals anyway. You ain't got the provision to do all that. Oh, brother, so what if I raise mine? You're not. There's only a few of you Negroes even raising animals. But even if you was, so were the Maccabees. They were raising animals. And guess what? They chose to not eat on flesh because it would have defiled them. Why would it defile them? Because the temple in Jerusalem was under attack. It was defiled. The altar was defiled. So if they would even kill the flock they had in the wilderness because the temple was defiled. Newsflash, buddy. Ain't damn temple. Ain't no temple stood in Jerusalem in 2,000 years. Ain't damn temple stood in Jerusalem in 2,000 years. You ain't got no priest. You ain't got no temple. You ain't got no altar. Didn't it tell you don't forsake the Levite as long as he lives? Most you niggas claim you know a Levite. Well, go ordain you a priest, make you a makeshift altar. But guess what? You can't do that either. You can't even do that. Let's go show you. Let's go show real priests when the altar was under attack and the temple was under attack. They say they not chewing on no animals. They gonna chew on the herbs because they ain't want to be defiled. Now, how do they do that with the temple standing and you think you got a right to eat a Big Mac, a Big Buford, a Whopper? What make you think you got a right to eat that when the bros who had the temple standing, who know all the rites and ceremonies, who know how to properly kill animals, they didn't do it, but you niggas can do it? You think I'm lying? See, we don't just talk, we go show. Let's go show it. Show y'all the bros stayed away from that. Y'all late. That's what I'm saying. Y'all coming up with arguments that was already answered. We been answered that. What you talking about? KJV with Apocrypha online. It's easy work. I don't know what, I don't even know what nobody got to say. Or why you even talking. Because all this stuff we been debunked this. We been came outside and showed everything we've been saying. And that's all praise to the Creator for it. Let me show y'all this. If y'all know anything about the Maccabees, you know that's a family of priests. Mattathias and them His entire lineage, they were priests. Okay? Show how these boys got down. They were priests. Show how they got down. Right here. 2 Maccabees 5, I'm going to start at verse 21. It's easy work. Tell these young boys that I do this. All praises. Look at this, y'all. Like me making stuff up. I'm like, bro, look, y'all out y'all league. Stuff be so dry and elementary. Like, come on, bro. You ain't got no better comeback than that. All right. All right. All right, so right here. 2 Maccabees 5 and 21. So when Antiochus had carried out of the temple 1,800 talents. So the temple was under attack. Temple where we had the stash in. Here come the Greek Antiochus Epiphanes. He come in and he attacks the temple. Look what he doing. He taking all our gold, all our silver. Look at this. So when Antiochus had carried out of the temple 1,800 talents, he departed and all hastened to Antiochia, weaning in his pride to make the land navigable and sea passable by foot. Such was the hardiness of his mind. He wanted to make the sea and the land passable by foot. This heathen was off the chain. All right, we're going to jump down. Read all that, you'll see it. Look what happened. All right, so he sent somebody into Jerusalem after he raided the temple. So the temple was under attack, right? And so he slew all them that were going to the celebrating of the Shabbat, the Sabbath, and running through the city with weapons slew great multitudes. But Judah Maccabee with 9 others or thereabout withdrew himself into the wilderness and lived in the mountains after the manner of beasts with his company, who fed on herbs continually, lest they should be partakers of the pollution. Good night. Judah Maccabee is the son of a priest, and he kicked off a major guerrilla warfare against these Greeks over 2,000 years ago. But those who were with him, they went out into the wilderness around Jerusalem, stayed in the communities, Essene communities, and lived in the mountains after the manner of beasts. What kind of beasts? We talking about carnivorous beasts like lions, or we talking about peaceful beasts that eat herbs, that eat the vegetation? Look at this. And lived in the mountains after the manner of beasts with his company, who fed on herbs continually, lest they should be partakers of the pollution. So once I go show that and show, well, look, Judah Maccabee and them, the Maccabee, they wouldn't eat no flesh. Once that temple went under attack and that altar went under attack, them brothers became plant-based because they understood that any flesh that they ate, they would be defiled. See that? See, the dead flesh that you chew on, if you're going by that, it got to be properly prepared, slaughtered, and killed. And I'm here to tell you that if these brothers couldn't do it, and they were priests who had their flocks with them, and they were priests who knew the rites and ceremonies, they were priests who knew how to slaughter animals. If they couldn't eat the flesh, wouldn't make a Negro think he got a right in 2022, you understand, to be chewing on loin meat. Nice tenderloin, a tenderloin. Boy, you chewing on loin meat. Boy, what are you talking about? Loins. Yeah, you got your upper and lower loin, but good night, brother. Loin meat nonetheless. So they knew they couldn't deal with it. Right now, watch this. Let me go show you, because the next Millie Mouth Negro gonna say this. Well, it don't say they had flocks. Look, stop it. Just going back to the drawing board, man. You look, you're out of your league on this one. Let's go show that they had the flocks with them too. You understand? Let's go show this next. All right, if y'all get some understanding so far, give me a 7 up in the chat. Bless up. Bless up. Y'all know we ain't trying to lose nobody. Bless up. All right, chewing on animal sandwiches. Dig? Running around talking about we holy, or you understand that we got the laws and we so wise, man. All them brothers I done seen, I'm bumping into a lot of brothers. A lot of brothers I done seen since they've been coming against us past year and a half. A lot of brothers, I'm running too fat now, out of shape. I'm like, dang, like you did. We've been off the flesh. You did good year and a half. And our bodies ain't even the same. New bodies and everything. You see, I'm bumping into brothers that's completely out of shape, and I know what they did. They upped their animal consumption. You understand? In anger of what we were saying, but you ain't doing nothing but hurting yourself, boy. Well, let's go show that they had flocks with them when they were in the wilderness. Look at this. Look at this. All right. Mattathias, right? This is Judah Maccabee father. And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law or the Torah and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that ever they had in the city. Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down to the wilderness to dwell there. Both they went down into the wilderness to dwell there. Both they and their children and their wives and, drum roll, their cattle, because afflictions increased sore upon them. Y'all, you mean to tell me they had their cattle with them and they still didn't slay none of their cattle when they got hungry? You mean to tell me this priestly family who is very familiar with the rites and ceremonies, very familiar with slaughtering animals, that they refuse to slaughter any of their cattle for food, and they chose to eat vegetation, herbs, because they understood that they would be defiled or polluted. So if they couldn't do it and they knew it all, they knew the priestly rites, what make us think it's lawful to be chewing on the back of dead animals today? What make you think that? Y'all, we be eating gizzards, liver, turkey necks, ox ass, ox tails, pig ear sandwiches, fried bologna sandwiches. And got the nerve to think this is normal. This is not normal. This is not normal. Like my brother Judah just said, Numbers the 11th chapter. Y'all, come on, this is easy. They had the flocks with them when they left Egypt, correct? Then what are they lusting to eat on flesh for? They got their flocks with them. Hell, they just killed a gang of Passover lambs. They know how to kill. Kill that flesh, roast that flesh, and you could have been eaten by sundown. What you mean they lust for flesh? I thought they had flocks with them. Why they ain't kill the flocks in the wilderness in Numbers the 11th chapter? Some ain't adding up. Some ain't adding up. You see? So we got a biblical example over this way to show what we talking about. You dig? And their understanding is based off the flesh laws in Leviticus. Right? Leviticus shows you what meat or flesh or food offered to idols is. And I'm here to say that brothers is not following it. That's why these brothers didn't chew on the flesh. And when you get into the history, them brothers a lot of them had Nazarite vows on them. A lot of these brothers rolled with the Nazarene understanding. Nazarene Essene understanding. They was against the sacrifices. They was against the bloodshed. They was against the warfare. They was against the slavery. They was against the chewing on animal wings and animal sandwiches and animal rear ends. They was against all that. They was against all that. So that's a different, and that's historically speaking. It did. So I want to drop that right there, and I'm gonna end this. We can go deeper. It did. If y'all want me to, I can go into some of the Nazarene literature and read a little bit of what Messiah was saying, or we can end it right here. It's been like 2.5, and we can just do a part 2. I know I still got to do a part 3 of the Most High's light, the Creator's light, as a witness in every nation. I got to do that. I'll probably do that tomorrow or the next day. We can do a part 2. I can come show more. Like we can show Codex Sinaiticus today, the oldest New Testament in existence. We can show the Septuagint today, the oldest Old Testament in existence. We can show the Peshitta, older than your Masoretic text, go back to the 2nd century. You dig? We done went through the Bible itself, the KJV, and even showed you. We showed you a fleshless and a bloodless Passover. Joshua, the 5th chapter, 10 through 12, before the Israelites went into Jericho. We showing. We showed you Messiah in the Nazarene literature. You understand? Him and his parents and his whole tribe kept Passover after the manner of their brethren. They didn't chew on flesh. You understand? And many other things. Oh, yes, you can keep Passover without chewing on dead animals. You can do that. That's easy work. We show you Barnabas and his breakdown of Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14. All that spiritual significance. That ain't got nothing to do with chewing on dead animals. We show you Peter's understanding about what is it, or what does it mean to abstain from meats offered to idols. Peter said that is to not eat dead flesh. We showed it all. That's what I'm saying. Like we show and prove. We go into the Bible and then we go into other spots to validate what we reading in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? Every question that was asked, like from our brother Jonathan, we answered, didn't we? What are we talking about then? It ain't like we ain't studied up. It ain't like we ain't went and proved what we talking about. You understand? Look, it ain't even like people have listened to what's being said and have healed. And have healed by turning away from chewing on animals. The Creator has not sanctioned nobody to be chewing on dead animals. None. Nobody. You understand? And think about it. Why something got to die in that day? Why something innocent got to die because you messed up? And in today, because you ain't killing no animals for your crimes, why something innocent got to die because you hungry? Huh? And the Most High made the grains and the fruits. What is something got to die because you hungry? Make it make sense. And you know it don't make sense. You understand? Matter of fact, let me read one of these out the Gospel of the Nazarenes. All right, we'll shut it down right around 3. Right around 3 hours. We've been on here 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 36 minutes. We'll shut it down right around there. All right. I'm gonna share one more thing with y'all. You know I got to. I don't know. I feel like I'm leaving something on the table. I can't leave it on the table. You dig? All right. We going showing and proving. Well studied. All right. We ain't just come outside and just was saying whatever we want about any of this. All right. Well studied. James and all them, his brothers, his whole family, them that was raised according to the way, that way. All right. I'm gonna go back to chapter 20. Which chapter was that talking about? Go to the table of contents real quick. I got y'all. Give me a second. I'm gonna do chapter. Let me see. Yeah, that's a good one right there. I'm gonna do chapter 33 first. This is a good one. Spilling their coffee. I ain't gonna do the whole chapter, but I'm gonna do this first. This Gospel of the Nazarenes, chapter 33. All right, goes into it. Y'all, we even showed how the KJV cut off half of the verse of Jeremiah 7:21. All right. I'm going to read it all the way down to first. So we're going to read Gospel of the Nazarene, chapter 33. We're going to read 1 all the way down to 10. All right. Now look at the title. The title says, by the shedding of blood of others is no remission of sins. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's revolutionary there. I see what Yahshua taught according to the Nazarene gospel. I see that. All right, watch this. First, they talk about the sushi rolls in the wheel. All right. I look at it. By the shedding of blood of others is no remission of sins. Yahshua was teaching his disciples in the outer court of the temple. And one of them said to him, Master, it is said by the priest that without shedding the blood, there is no remission. Can then the blood offering of the law take away sin? Excellent question. Excellent question. Y'all know that's an excellent question right there. All right. Can the blood offering of the law take away sin? Yahshua answered, no blood offering. No blood offering of beast or bird or man. Or man. See, you got to adjust now. You're at the crossroads. I know I done been there. Dang, this Yahshua himself saying the blood of man ain't getting rid of it either. No, over this way, you got to sit on your own bottom. Every tub sits on his own bottom. You're responsible for the crimes that you do against the Creator. You spilled it, you got to clean it up. You spilled it, you got to clean that up. All right? Yahshua was murdered. That was a political assassination. He was murdered by the black-hearted leaders of his nation. But he telling you no blood offering, a beast or a bird or a man can take away sin. For how can the conscience be purged from sin by the shedding of innocent blood? He said, yo, consciousness ain't going to change behind that. Nay, it will increase the condemnation. Do y'all understand this? Y'all understand this? He telling you flat out, no blood offering will take away sin. It will only increase the condemnation. And that makes sense because all men do today is use the blood of Jesus as a what? A get out of jail free card. I done been there, I understand. Blood this, blood this, blood this. Like, what are we doing talking all this blood talk? What's up with all this blood? And we so quick to call everything else witchcraft. But Yahshua in here telling you flat out, for how can the conscience be purged from sin by the shedding of innocent blood? Nay, it will increase the condemnation. The priest, oh man, my bad. It's right here. The priest indeed receives such offering as a reconciliation of the worshipers for the trespass against the law of Moses. But for the sins against the law of Creator, there can be no remission, save or only by repentance and amendment. You got to turn away. You want to be forgiven. You want the Creator to move on your behalf and forgive you, and you be in good graces with the Creator. He said, yeah, that worked for the law of Moses, killing blood, but for the law of Creator, there is no remission. The only remission of sins you get dealing with Creator is by repentance. That means turn away from what you're doing, and amendment. You got to change your ways. That's how you get in good graces with Creator. You understand? You turn away from what you're doing, and you change, you sincerely change your ways by doing righteous work unto others. This ain't got nothing to do with an innocent man or animal dying for you. Nothing. Nothing. If y'all understand that, give me a 1 up in the chat. You understand? No, you responsible for your own crimes against Creator. Mashiach was murdered because he was teaching the Great Spirit. He was teaching about the Great Spirit or Creator. And guess what? It threw a monkey wrench in these evil priests who was running the Sanhedrin, who had the throne, who was running the priesthood and all that. It threw a monkey wrench in them, and they were inspired by a false deity or a god. And here come Messiah telling them, you of your father the devil. Yeah. Yeah. And the lust of your father you would do. He was a murderer. He was the bloodshed. He was the one shedding blood from the beginning. Huh? We ain't playing no game. Look, honor and humility ain't made up none of this. No, you ain't finna play the murder of Messiah as a get out of jail free card because you slip and trip. No, we ain't finna play like that. You know what you're doing when you going to do wrong. You know what you're doing if you made a mistake and did wrong. You understand? You got to make that right with the Creator by making it right with your fellow man. You got to make that right. By what? Turning away from what you're doing and changing your ways by doing righteousness unto others. That's all it is. Look at this. Is it not written in the prophets? Put your blood sacrifices to your burnt offerings and away with them, and cease you from the eating of flesh. You see how Messiah broke down to Jeremiah? He said, now the real understanding is Most High was telling us to stop eating flesh in that Jeremiah. Huh? When you read that Jeremiah 7:21 in that KJV, Messiah is saying in here that really means stop chewing on animal backs and wings and legs and guts and gizzards and organs. Put your blood sacrifice to your burnt offerings and away with them, and cease ye from the eating of flesh. For I spake not to your fathers, nor commanded them when I brought them out of Egypt concerning these things. But this thing I commanded them, saying, obey my voice. That means the burnt offerings and the sacrifices didn't come from Creator. Obey my voice and walk in the ways that I have commanded you. And you should be my people, and it should be well with you. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear. And what doth the Eternal command you? But to do justice, love, mercy, and walk humbly with your Creator. Is it not written that in the beginning, the Creator ordained the fruits of the trees and the seeds and the herbs to be food for all flesh? Do you hear this? All flesh. Wow. Wow. So I see now one cat told my one bruh, he say, man, look, what y'all teaching? Have we been back in Jerusalem there to stones you niggas? I started laughing. I said, yep. Yep. Because I'm teaching what Messiah taught. What you talking about? You absolutely right. You did. And he was surprised I ain't get mad. I laughed. I said, shit, you sure right. I'd already contemplated that like that. These niggas will kill me. They'll kill us behind this. But they have made the house. Hold on. All right, now look at this. But they have made the house of prayer a den of thieves, and for the pure oblation with incense, they have polluted my altars with blood. Look at this. The Nazarene Messiah was teaching against the bloodshed, the warfare, the subjugation of women, the subjugation of flesh. He was speaking against all that slavery and bloodshed and warfare and animal cooking and animal chew. He was against all that, man. You understand? He's against all that. Look at this. You have polluted my altars with blood and eaten of the flesh of the slain. But I say unto you, shed no innocent blood, nor eat you flesh. Walk uprightly, love mercy, and do justly, and your days shall be long in the land. The corn that groweth from the earth with other grain, is it not transmuted by the Spirit into my flesh? The grapes of the vineyard with the other fruits, are they not transmuted by the Spirit into my blood? Let the grains and the fruits, let these with your bodies and souls be your memorial to the Creator or the Eternal. Do y'all hear this? Messiah saying, let the grains of the earth and the fruits of the earth be your memorial. Let these with your bodies and souls be your memorial to Creator. Huh? You already talking about a Passover memorial. No, Jack, let the grains of the earth, let the veggies and fruits, let the grains of the earth and the fruits of the earth be your body be your memorial to the Creator. In these is the presence of Creator manifest as the substance and as the life of the world. Of these shall you eat and drink. He talking about the fruits and veggies for the remission of sins and for eternal life to all who obey my words. Good night. Good night. Good night. And that's just one out the Nazarene gospel. You know, y'all know I can keep going. Easy work. Easy work. We actually having fun. We actually having fun doing this. Somebody tell these young boys that I do this. All right. Got any questions up in the chat? Let me know. Let me know. All right. I mean, I can keep going, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it short right there. Y'all got any questions? Let me know. Easy work. And look, it was all spirit led because I didn't even know the HICKMAN. And I don't even know that, bro. I didn't even know the HICKMAN was even going to ask about Passover. He did, and we went there and showed. Yeah, that's right, Jax. Many say he was the sacrifice. But look, even if people going with that. All right. All right. Well, okay, I ain't got no problem. Look, I have no problem with him being if you want to look at it like a sacrifice. All right. But that's supposed to spark a revolution in your mind to continue his mission, not to fall back into, darkness or whatever. Well, some going to the sacrifice part, right? Now look at this. Let me show you this. Look at this. Now this say right here, Hebrews 10:26. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remain no more sacrifice for sins. Stop right there. So if you've sinned willfully, since you've understood and received the truth, according to what we just read, hold on, let me share my screen. Show y'all that. According to what we just read, ain't no more sacrifice for you anyway. Who running around here talking about they ain't sinned willfully or ain't sinned at all? since they've been in what we call the truth? Huh? You did? So if you want to roll with it, okay, but we read in Hebrews 10:26, if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. And this is talking about from the aspect of Messiah being the sacrifice. So if you sin willfully after knowing the Messiah had been sacrificed for you, then guess what? Ain't no more sacrifice for you anyway. And bruh, and listen to me, that's everybody in the truth. Everybody has sinned willfully or by mistake since they've been in the truth. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not even look, if we not gonna be real with ourselves, I'm not the brother that had a conversation with. I'm not the one that had a conversation with, because I'm gonna be all the way funky with you. That says ain't no more sacrifice for us if we have sinned willfully, since we have received the truth. Have you sinned willfully? Have you purposely went and did something that you know was wrong? Huh? And if you have, then guess what? According to that, there is no more sacrifice for sins. Now watch this. So that's showing you what? You got to look, you're responsible for your own crimes. Your own sins against Creator, you responsible for that. Because this right here straight tell you that if you have sinned willfully after you receive the truth, there is no more sacrifice. And that's coming from the vantage point that Messiah is the sacrifice, right? Now look at this. Hebrews 6:4. For it is impossible for those who were once enlightened and have tasted of the heavenly gift and were made partakers of Ruach HaKodesh and have tasted the good word of God and the powers of the world to come, if they shall fall away, to renew them again unto repentance, seeing they crucified to themselves the Son of God afresh and put him to an open shame. It's telling you if you fall off or if you fall away or even if you sin willfully, there is no more sacrifice, right? If you fall off, it's saying right here that you can't be renewed again unto repentance. You see? So over here is letting you know if you mess up, Jack, you finished. Finito. Huh? Every tail got to sit on his own bottom anyway, y'all. You responsible for that. All right? You responsible for your sins and crimes you do against the Creator. All right? And you can be forgiven and get back in good graces, but you like sincerely got to change what you're doing. You got to turn away from the evil that you're doing. You understand? And guess what? You got to change your ways by doing righteous works unto others. Yeah, you spilled it, clean it up. Creator is fair, man. Creator is just. You understand? So I wanted to go through a lot of that. I wanted to go over some of that, and that was off the fly. That was right out the fly. That was easy. You understand? Right. That's right, Max Lowe. Check out Ezekiel 18:20. The one who sins will die. It also tell you in Ezekiel 14 and in Deuteronomy. Also tell you in Deuteronomy. You understand? Can't nobody die for you. Nobody dying for you. You understand? Our Messiah was murdered. All right? Our Messiah was murdered, man. They murdered our brother. They murdered him. You dig? And then did all type of different switches, doctrines up, and man, did all type. You understand? That's why you really got to slow roll. Go back and look at this thing from a historical lens. You'll start seeing a lot of stuff like, man, that's never tripped off that. Any questions? Any questions before we shut it down? All right. Any questions? Dig. All praises, glory now to the Most High. Forever live the anointing and the teachings of Messiah. Understand that, know that. And the more we come together in fellowship, y'all, and you know what I mean, hunker down and glean off one another. We get stronger and stronger. You understand? Get stronger and stronger. And then you look up and we be a force. And when we touch and agree on something, you understand? When we touch and agree, then you start seeing things move, right? We touch and agree, and guess what? Look, in the Most High's name, in the Creator's name, Y'all, it don't matter if we binding up an evil spirit or dismissing the sickness or whatever it may be. It got to go. You understand? And we break it and bind it in the name of the Most High Yahweh. You dig, in the name of the Creator Yahweh. So all praise and glory now to the Most High. I pray brothers and sisters got some understanding this evening. If you did, give me a Yahoo up in the chat. Bless up. You know what I mean? We gonna get her done. All right, and get her done. All praise to the Most High. Believe that and know that. All right. Messiah tell you kindle the fire. You dig? And the kingdom of heaven is within. I personally believe we need to be starting within. We talking about building kingdom, going to a kingdom and seeing kingdoms. It start within though. He told you stop studying cloud patterns. He told you the kingdom of heaven don't even come by observation. You ain't gonna be able to say, look, here it is or there. It's already within. Within you, you got everything you need to start building the Creator's kingdom on earth. You understand? Get to that. He say, kindle the fire. What is you waiting on? What is you looking up for? Huh? Get it done now. You got the like-minded. Look, y'all got this understanding. Y'all know the mobilizing communities. Go get it done, man. The beginning of the Creator's kingdom on earth starts with us getting out of these cities and mobilizing into these communities. You understand? Under one banner, one focus, and making it happen, man. That's the beginning of establishing the Creator's kingdom in this earth. And that's what we about. You see what's going on in Acts. They were doing the same thing. You understand? That's how we supposed to be to others. You dig? So live like that. Live like it's on you to bring about this kingdom and make it a manifestation. So no matter what happens, like, you understand? People argue all day. Coming back, he ain't coming back, or whatever. Whatever anybody in, look, we need to understand is why are we looking for something outside of us when it starts inside? Whatever manifestation, whatever reality you want the kingdom of heaven as a reality, get to work then. It start inside. Starts here. Get to work. You understand? So all praise and glory now to the Most High. Good to see y'all in the building. Nehemiah Ben Israel, my beloved brother. Bless up. Good to see y'all. Still going strong. Y'all already know. But look, I'm about to get up out of here. I salute you all in the name of Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahuwah, Jehovah. I salute all y'all in the name of the Creator, the Most High, the all in all, the ever was, the always is, present, the all in all, the always was, is, and ever shall be, the omnipotent, the omnipotent, the everything. You understand? The all in all, the almighty Yahweh. I salute you all in the name of the Creator. And may the Creator bless every last one of you brothers and sisters. Send his ministering angels from the highest heavens to surround you, brothers and sisters. You understand? We come against, bind up, and break up any so-called unclean spirit of sickness, any type of unclean spirit of mental disorder, any type of unclean spirit of a bodily plague, we bind you, break you, and dismiss you in the name of the Creator Yahweh. All praises, glory, and honor. We bind you and we break you. And guess what? We stand united. We stand united, and together we can move elements together by standing united under our Creator. And that's who the Messiah came to teach, Creator. You dig? And for that, he was murdered. So I come in the same vibration. I'm teaching the Most High. I'm teaching about the Creator, the light. You understand? Just like the Messiah taught. And we keep this thing going. You dig? And yeah, we're going to make everybody mad. We're going to ruffle a few feathers. You understand? But we choose to understand that our time is in Creator's hands, period. You understand? I refuse to live my life in fear. So I salute you all in the name of the Creator Yahweh. Strap up or back up. You understand? Check in and check out. Clip up. Bless up. You understand? Y'all already know what it is. Nazarene it is. Nazarene is seen as what it is. My faithist brothers and sisters. Cosmon to the faithist. Y'all already know. Creator Gang is the family. Creator Gang is the movement. You bring them, we raise them. All right? Until the next time, of all y'all brothers indeed. All you brothers and sisters in deed and in truth. You understand? Hey, listen. Buckle down and really study what we talking about. Study this thing. You understand? We ain't the ones that's making this stuff up. We ain't the ones that's like trying to do this for some type of clout or fame or none of that. If any of y'all know me, I've been doing this. I've been teaching. You understand? So this ain't nothing new to me. It may be to them, but not to me. You understand? This is about us warning our people, especially during the times of these pandemics and these heathens playing with diseases and all that, to get your immunity up, man. You understand? Stop making your body a graveyard. All right? Get back to the fruits and grains of the earth. It'll blow your mind how the Creator made your body to heal itself. You understand? And if you need to wean yourself, do that. Go through a full body cleanse, get that done. And you understand? Get on them melons, get on them berries, get on them salads, get on them greens. You understand? Like, there's so many recipes out here now. You ain't even got to look at. It's not boring eating plant-based. I eat good. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Eat very good. Full of energy too. You understand? So let's go ahead and get there, because Creator is desiring to speak through every last one of you brothers and sisters. He speaks through your soul. You understand? But if your blood is, poisoned and gunky, and you understand, you got all type of parasites, and you can't hear the Creator like you need to be heard. You got to get them parasites up out of there. You know what I mean? You got to cleanse out. Right? That's a condition of hell in your body. When you in a state of acidosis, you inflamed. Your blood ain't cool. You inflamed. It ain't no alkaline environment, boy. You's on fire. All type of parasites and all that. You know what I mean? Symbolic for the lake of fire or hell. You dig? Yes, your health, your physical body, your health, what you eat affects your spiritual progression in body. Yes. You understand? The Nazarene scene, brothers and all that around Israel, they were the healers. Around Egypt, the brotherhood was known as the therapists, the therapeutic. They were the healers. Then we had another name around India, Persia, China, Greece. The brotherhood of light was all over this earth, man. And they all had the same code. So we're going to be going more into that next video. But look, I love all y'all indeed and in truth. I'll play a little something before we get up out of here. Hey, let's stick together and get this done, though, man. Because, look, we ain't nothing without a solid brotherhood and sisterhood. Believe that, know that. All right? So until the next time, I got y'all. All right? Let me play a little something. We can slide on about this deal. You dig? Easy work. Easy work. Play up. In fact, I'm going to put bro on it. Put something else for bro. Glad y'all got some understanding. All right, stand strong out here. All right, like who else? We going into the text that's older than the Bible that everybody got today, and showing we ain't making none of this up. None of it. All right, ain't nobody making none of this up. I'm gonna play a little bit of this. I ain't gonna play the whole thing. You dig? But bro, go pretty hard. Let me see. He go pretty hard. Let me see if I have something shorter I can play. We watched some of that already. All right, so I'm going to play a little bit of this. We're going to go back to the bruh who we was watching earlier. All right. And we're going to rock on out. All right, we're going to rock on out. All right, I pray for all you brothers and sisters. Believe that. All right. I pray for all y'all in my prayers. Believe that. That ain't just talk. All right. Even our enemies in my prayers. Shout out to all the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. All right. Whenever you grow the testicular fortitude of a squirrel, step on in the ring. Yeah? Step on in the ring. You dig? Let the world see what it is. All right. I'm about to mute on out. I'm about to play this right here. 49 years, no meat.
An internal medicine physician. Hello, my name is Dr. Milton Mills. I am a critical care and internal medicine physician, currently living in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm originally from Oakland, California, grew up and went to college and medical school in the San Francisco, Oakland Bay Area, and moved out to the Washington, D.C. area to complete my residency, and have been living out here ever since. I am a plant-based physician, and I've spent my life helping people understand the need to change our diet and lifestyle so that we can avoid the chronic diseases that tend to afflict people living in Western countries and cause us to suffer from chronic disease and sadly to die prematurely and to suffer from things like dementia and other debilitating illnesses. So my plant-based journey actually began in my teenage years. When I was 14, I became a Seventh-day Adventist. I joined the Adventist Church. The Seventh-day Adventist Church encourages, but does not require, its church members to become plant-based because that is God's original diet for us, as outlined in the book of Genesis. When God created Adam and Eve, he told them to be plant-based. In fact, he told them to be vegans. They were to be eating essentially a fruit-based diet. After sin entered the world, he did change their diet. In chapter 3, we see that he enlarged their diet to include foods that formerly had been reserved only for animals. The Bible refers to as plants of the field, which can be interpreted as your grains, legumes, green leafy vegetables, and root vegetables. So those were now included in our diet. While I understood that that was God's desire for us, I didn't think I could do it. The church does absolutely require that we adhere to the biblical prescriptions against eating unclean animals, such as scavengers and so forth. So I did cut out things like pork, shellfish, and those kinds of animal foods, but I did continue to eat hamburgers, chicken, fish, so forth. But about a year and a half after joining the church, when I was 16, I was struggling with some personal issues that I was finding it difficult to get past. And I was talking with God about it one night. He said to me very clearly, if you want a closer relationship with me, you need a clearer mind. And for that, you need a better diet. You have to stop eating meat. And I remember very clearly, I felt just this frisson of panic at that moment. Like, how can I do this? I don't think I can do it. And so I just said, God, if you want me to stop eating meat, you have to take away the desire for me to eat it. He did. And I stopped. That was a night in September of 1974. And I haven't eaten animal flesh since. Once I stopped eating meat, I very quickly began to feel the difference in my personal health. I had more energy. I required less sleep. I was in my mid-teens, and my acne cleared up, like really clear that, yeah, this is definitely better for me from a health standpoint. So I began to read everything I could find on the relationship between food and health, and everything that I was reading was consistent with what the Bible had actually said, that the more plant-based a population or a person was, the healthier they became, and the longer they lived and the fewer diseases they had. I then began to try and help educate people on the importance of changing our diet to help reduce our risk for developing all of the diseases that tend to afflict people. I ultimately decided that I wanted to spend my life doing just that, educating people about the importance of changing their diet and lifestyle to help them live healthier lives and avoid heart disease, cancer, strokes, and so forth. That ultimately led me to decide to go to medical school so that I could have the best understanding of human health and physiology, but also to have the credentials that would allow people to respect what I was telling them when it came to changing their diet and lifestyle. I was fortunate to be accepted into Stanford University School of Medicine. And what was really special about that was there were opportunities to do a lot of research and also to do independent research, which allowed me to explore this whole issue of human design, human anatomy and physiology, as compared to that of meat-eating mammals, such as carnivores, versus plant-eating mammals, such as traditional herbivores.